Founded by Jesse and Amy McCracken, Rural Pest Solutions is a Cashion-based, family-owned and operated company. Our focus is on providing the highest level of customer service while effectively treating many common invaders, including spiders, ants, roaches, mice, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, and termites. Flexible scheduling and superior customer service are our top priority. Call us today to schedule your appointment, 405-283-6565.
Looking for a solution to your water well problem or just needing a new well drilled? Western Drilling does water well drilling and repair. They are experts in pumping system installation, troubleshooting, and repair. Western Drilling works with domestic, ag, and irrigation wells. Give them a call today and explore all the solutions. Western Drilling supports Cashion High School. Go Wildcats!
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers.
Talk about a win-win.
Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Kyle and Gina Van Druff have the answers to all your real estate and insurance needs. These guys will have you covered in a one-stop shopping experience. They are local agents, local supporters, and active in the Cashion community. They are also proud parents of past and present Cashion students. Kyle and Gina help their clients make the right choice. Don't wait till it's too late. Call 405-607-4300. Go Wildcats and number 88. Let's have a great year.
Walk it up, get you some.
Cashion FBC is a church seeking to grow in Christ and our love for the body of Christ. With ministries from children to youth to adults, we strive to present the gospel in an engaging and meaningful way. Sunday school meets at 9:45 a.m. and worship starts at 11 a.m. Children and youth meet on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Please check our website at cashionfbc.org for more information. We hope to see you this Sunday, located a half mile east of Cashion.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
Presenting Regato Ranch, located within the Cashion School District and offering homebuyers the experience of small-town charm with the modern world of shopping, dining, and healthcare just minutes away. Situated east of Highway 74, Regato Ranch boasts 1-acre home sites with privacy and ample space to retire or raise a family.
To build your next home from the ground up or to inquire about new properties currently for sale, contact Brandon or Shannon Potter with Iron Creek Homes and C7 Realty.
Come find your forever home at Regato Ranch.
And go Wildcats!
For what should be a great ball game. Varsity football is off next Friday for their bye week. They resume the season October 6th at Wakanda. Junior high football will be at St. September 25th. Congrats to our cheer teams for being regional champions. They will compete in state tomorrow at Tulsa Union High School. Good luck, cheer team. Thank you guys for cross-country runners Luke Boston and Dave Bennett for their top finishes at the Tennessee League last weekend. And Cashion Baptist softball will be competing in the regional tournament this week in Minco. Go Cats! This is game time. It's always the best music.
Cashion, Oklahoma, Friday night football live
Your Cashion Wildcats are here.
All right, welcome to Cashion, Oklahoma, where your Cashion Wildcats are taking on the Minco Bulldogs here live from Maxon Field. I'm Neiman Ababi. Joining me up here in the palatial press box here in Maxon Field is my man Chris Gibson, and we'll be here calling tonight's game as the Cashion Wildcats 1-3 take on the 4-0 Minco Bulldogs led by head coach Brock Wardlaw. It's your Wildcats trying to rebound after a tough loss last week. Chris, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, it's Friday night in Oklahoma, and it's a beautiful evening. Maybe a little bit windy, but you can't beat this weather for some Friday night football in Oklahoma, and I'm excited for the game. We've got a good Minco Bulldog team here tonight, and we've seen them over the last few years a little bit down compared to where they've been. They beat us last year. But, man, they're rolling in here with a bunch of seniors, and it's going to be a good ball game.
It will be. Wildcats, tough loss last week to the I lost track. Walters Blue Devils, yes. Which
Don't say Ringling.
Yeah, I said that about 100 times during the broadcast. My wife went home last night. Liz was like, "You said Ringling about 100 times." I said, "I know." But tough loss. Walters again coming in again as a fantastic team, junior loaded. They took care of it, won the game 49-7. It one of the few highlights was the 49-yard TD reception hookup from sophomore Ethan Waswo to junior Max Higdon. Wildcats had flashes, but it was the 4 turnovers that were really big. One of them was a fumble inside the 5-yard line, a couple of interceptions, another fumble, and give credit to Walters Blue Devils on 2 punt returns and a kickoff return that made the most, creating a lot of short fields for themselves, basically leading up to a 49-7 victory. Really don't have any stats to share with you as the iPad broke, and probably auspicious in that sense. But Wildcats look to lick their wounds and get back after it as we have the start of districts play tonight as the Wildcats taking on the Minco Bulldogs. Again, the Bulldogs 4-0, big wins over Dibble, Moreland, Apache, and Merritt, averaging right around 50 points a game, and definitely showing what they need to do. They've been athletic in the past, and certainly we'll talk about key players. Before we break down the Minco Bulldogs a little bit, if you were a fly on the wall in the locker room or in practices this week, and what would kind of be your area of focus for the Wildcats coming here to start district play against a known entity here in the Bulldogs?
Well, first of all, after a game like last week when Walters comes in here with a lot of upperclassmen and just pretty much everything went their way, everything that you did.
They were the better team.
Yeah, everything that you did just did not work.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Shaq and he said, "Hey, he's like, I'll put it on me as a coaching staff. I didn't have a good plan. It did not. It was not good, and I'll put that on me." I went and talked to him yesterday, and he took that on him and just said, "I've got to be better." And what I've talked to my team about this week is, we all need to take ownership and leadership in what we're doing, and as young kids.
Yep.
That is so important because those young kids are going to turn into the leaders on this team. And if you can take it inward and say, hey, what did I do this summer? Did I come up and practice every day like I should have? Did I do this every day like I should have? And a lot of those kids did, but did everybody? Did you do? If you could take that and look inward and say, how can I get better? I think that's going to only make things really, really good for this Cashion Wildcat team going forward in the next few years as these freshmen and sophomores become juniors and seniors. And so that's what if I was a coach and a player is what I would have focused on. I wouldn't have focused on, there was a lot of negative. You could have dwelt on that, but you want to say, all right, guys, let's come in here Monday. Let's get a game plan together. Let's focus. Let's be the best, as Coach Shaq always says, let's be the best version of ourselves this week.
Yep.
And if it's getting beat 49-7, and that's the best version of us, as long as we know that we put in all the effort this week to get better and be the best version of ourselves, then that's what matters going forward. And then, just focus on that leadership and not pointing fingers. I try to tell my son, when you're a leader, when things are going bad, who do you point at? You point at yourself and say, that's on me, guys. I'll get better. Yeah. I'll make sure we're all in workouts next summer. When things are going really good, you know what you do? You point at everybody else and say, that was you. Great job. You did a great job. And I think that's what I would focus on if I was a coach and as a team. And it sounds like that's what Coach Shackelford worked on this week, and just, it kind of showed that leadership of saying, hey, that's on me. I'll have a better game plan this next week. My game plan wasn't real good last week, and we'll get better, and we'll be better for it.
Absolutely. Every year, every team is new. It has its unique wrinkles and fashion, and that's why coaches have to continue to evolve and change and mend. And sometimes things are clicking right, and you got upperclassmen, and you've got a bunch of, built-in leaders, and sometimes those things can be managed where you can spend time in other places. But, it's not just for today or tomorrow or this year. It's how he's building his program and these kids moving forward. Well stated, Chris. The Bulldogs, though, they come to town, and they're not going to be worried about whether or not the Wildcats are trying to get themselves together. They're coming in on a mission. Bulldogs, who battled it out last year. It was a tight three-team race for district titles, which went to Crescent last year when the Tigers were able to come to Maxon Field and win that last game. And they certainly have been on the cusp. They look good coming off the bus. They got a lot of great-looking athletes. Coach Wardlaw has always had a very competitive team. And in a sense, while Minco hasn't had the balanced success that the Cashion Wildcats have had in football, basketball, and baseball, getting to state and actually winning, they've been, again, just a really competitive athletic program. Those kids are multi-sport kids, and certainly they're going to come to town with the hopes of not just winning districts, but going on and have a really strong run in the playoffs. We're going to break down the Minco Bulldogs here in a second. Before we go to commercials, definitely want to provide a big shout out to all of our football sponsors: Sean Brown family, Camlin LLC, Jeremy Branson family, NAFTA Mud, Superior Construction, Divine Investment, CMS Willowbrook, Legacy Insurance, Legacy Lending, South Hall Supply, M&D Law, Dr. Diesel Horse, Squirtle, Amber Waswo Design, Fuels Marketing, Zach Lloyd and Family, and Cimarron Electric. These are our football sponsors, making it look sharp. Make sure we have all the things to have a fantastic football program, building champions here, and doing that in the future. We really appreciate those sponsors, but definitely love our fantastic sponsors here on the Squirtle Network here on Cashion Wildcats TV. You'll see them in commercials. You'll see their ads in the corner right there of your screen. We really appreciate them making this a free of charge broadcast. Chris, before we go to a quick commercial, any thoughts?
No, I'm excited about this game, and every week, even though it's a little bit of a rebuild this season, I'm still excited to see these kids get out on the football field and compete, and it's no different tonight. I'm excited for this football game. I'm excited for the kids to get the opportunity to get out there and showcase their skills, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
It will be. All right, so hang tight as my man Jackson Drake will take you to commercial. Be right back right after this.
Founded by Jesse and Amy McCracken, Rural Pest Solutions is a Cashion-based, family-owned and operated company. Our focus is on providing the highest level of customer service while effectively treating many common invaders, including spiders, ants, roaches, mice, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, and termites. Flexible scheduling and superior customer service are our top priority. Call us today to schedule your appointment. 405-283-6565.
Looking for a solution to your water well problem or just needing a new well drilled? Western Drilling does water well drilling and repair. They are experts in pumping system installation, troubleshooting, and repair. Western Drilling works with domestic, ag, and irrigation wells. Give them a call today and explore all the solutions. Western Drilling supports Cashion High School. Go Wildcats!
CW-TV production of Cashion Wildcat Football. The Wildcats hosting the Minco Bulldogs here live from Maxon Field. I'm Neiman Ababi, Chris Gibson here, bringing you tonight's action, and we appreciate you guys joining us. So broke down a little bit of the Wildcats and their game last week and kind of where we are in terms of the team. Let's go ahead and talk about the Minco Bulldogs. Again, 4-0 coming in. Coach Brooke Warlaw opening up on the road here against the Cashion Wildcats here in District A3 or A5 or A3, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
8-3.
8-3.
Again, big wins against Dibble, at Moreland, at Apache, and their last game against Merritt last week, 67-24. That game was basically done at the middle of the second quarter. It was 42-0. So, a lot of those 24 points from Merritt were kind of in, I don't want to say in garbage time, but
little JV
action. But nonetheless, let's break down the Minco Bulldogs. So, did you have a chance to watch any film?
Watched a little bit, and looked like the same Minco offense that I've seen in the last 5 years we've been doing this,
right.
But a little better. Because I take that back. The first year we did Squirtle, we didn't wind up doing the Minco.
It was the game of the. It was the
game of the week.
KRXO franchise game of the week.
They came in and the Squirtle guys did it, but they had a heck of a quarterback that year. They had a really good receiver. I think the receiver wound up towards ACL or something. Maybe.
That was actually the year before at Minco. Yes, you're right. So that game was a big game.
Yeah.
And then that year here he did. They had two big wide receivers. The
and
quarterback ended up
quarterback.
playing in college.
Yeah.
And the receiver was big time.
That was probably their best team that I've seen besides this one. This one's probably going to be better. And that team gave us all we want. I mean, it was a competition. I mean, it wasn't where we boat raced a lot of teams that year. That Minco Bulldog team pulled into town and they were ready to play and they gave us a fight. That team, like I said, was probably right under where this team is, I believe, because, then after that year you had a freshman quarterback for Minco step in, and now he is a senior. Reed McMurtry is a kid that is one of our players to watch for the Minco Bulldogs. He's a senior QB, defensive back, and he can sling it. What they'll do is they'll get him out on the run, let him either pull it down and run, or he just finds it's backyard.
And he
football.
has a good arm. He has a really good arm.
Backyard football. Get him out there on the move. These receivers are really good about finding an open spot. And then he can deliver. He can deliver a strike. I saw him out here throwing the ball before in the warm-ups, and it looked just like it did on film. He's got a good, strong arm that can really he can sling it and put it on on the receivers quick. And he's accurate. And he's accurate on the move. So that's going to be dangerous. And it's going to be a big task for our young defensive backs to stay with those receivers, until those defensive linemen can either, get to him, get him down, or run him out of bounds, because he's going to be keeping his eyes down the field. And then whenever he decides to pull it down and run it, I mean, he's a big, strong kid that can make people miss or run you over. And so he's going to be a kid to watch tonight, because he's not only a good athlete, can do all of those things, but he's got the experience of playing quarterback for the last 4 years for the Minco Bulldogs. And so he knows this system inside and out. And these are really good coaches on the other side of the football in Coach Wardlaw and the Wardlaw crew. I mean, I think it's his brother there's two with him. But they do a really good job of coaching over there in Minco. And so being that this kid has been in that system for 4 years, he's going to be really a really good kid on the football field, not only just because of the athlete he is, but what's between his ears and that experience.
All right, so looks like we've got the national anthem, so we'll cut over to the field cam. Thank you, Jackson. We'll get the camera. America, greatest country in the entire universe. Super blessed to be living here. Definitely super blessed to be living in Cashion, Oklahoma. So love that. Thanks to our marching band, looking sharp out there. So Chris, let's break it down in terms of players to watch. We talked about Reed McMurtry. Let's talk about a couple of other players here to watch for the Minco Bulldogs. Looks like we've got a couple guys. At least I know we've got one, maybe even one more to list after him.
Number 25, Jake Caruth. He's another kid that has a lot of experience. I don't think he played much as a freshman, but I think you saw him in some of their packages as a sophomore and junior last year. He was a big part of what they did, running the football and on the defensive side of the ball, just flying around and wreaking havoc everywhere he went. He's another one of those kids that's one of those seniors that are just going to have a lot of experience playing on Friday nights, and he's a big athletic kid that can really move to the football. And he's going to be we're going to call his name a lot tonight on both sides of the football.
And I know we have one more. Is it number 3, Ashton Taylor, another senior?
I was going to say, Ashton Taylor, just looking at him out there on the warm-up, I mean, he doesn't look that big until he gets next to another kid, and you're like, holy crap, that kid is big, And if you watched the game last year, he was just wreaking havoc up front with what he did on the defensive line, and he's going to be right there doing the same thing again this year, just pushing kids around, kind of imposing his physicality on those offensive lines from the Cashion Wildcats. But you got to step up and match that physicality if you're a Cashion Wildcat and try to hold him at bay and give the Cashion Wildcats a little bit of time to put some of their game plan together. Now, that's me up here sitting in the press box saying that's what you got to do. It's easier said than done. He's going to be definitely a tough kid to slow down.
All right. Those are the players to watch from our fine sponsors and Community State Bank. So let's transition. We got a few minutes here. Looks like we'll have the tunnel set up. We've got the captains coming out here in a little bit. So let's think about our legacy keys to the game. So a big shout out to our fine sponsors and Legacy Insurance, as well as Legacy Financial Services in downtown Cashion. So Chris, we talk about legacy, we talk about history, we talk about, all those things that come into play. So for the Wildcats to be victorious today, what are the 3 things that you feel like need to happen for the Wildcats?
We kind of beat a dead horse on the how young we are as a team, but that's just the matter of the fact this year is we have a lot of young underclassmen getting out there and playing, and it is key to keep the mistakes down. I know you're young, but do the things that you're coached. Try to keep those mistakes to a minimum, because when you're driving, anytime you're driving and getting any kind of momentum going, any kind of success, and you have a big mistake as far as a penalty or a fumble or a pass backwards when it should have gone forward, whatever the case may be, or just a drop pass, those mistakes are magnified when you've got a lot of young, inexperienced kids out there on the football field. So if you can keep those mistakes to a minimum, that will be a huge key to this football game.
I like that. Hold on. I was just going to say, Chris, the one victory we have on the season against Thomas, I don't think we had a turnover, and we only had two penalties.
Yes.
Yeah, so those things I think go hand in hand. If you just even look historically across football programs, but and young ones, but specifically this one here in Cashion.
And there's mistakes that are forced on you by another team, right? Just because they make a good play or they do something. What I'm talking about is those mistakes that are kind of self-inflicted wounds. You've got to keep those down as much as you can, because the other team, just like this, when it's a good ball club coming into town that is very experienced, they're going to cause you to make some mistakes. But don't do anything to yourself that they didn't force on you. Unforced errors, I guess, is what I'm saying, is keep those to a minimum.
I love it. All right.
Next thing is you got to fly to the football. On the defensive side of the ball, last week I saw a lot of kids, getting there and making that initial hit, but you didn't really have that group of just Wildcats flying to the football to want to help clean up the mess. You want to play with your hair on fire if you're the Cashion Wildcats and you're on the defensive side of the football, because as young as we are, the physicality just isn't there. So if my teammate's getting to the football and they're going to hold him up, I get to go in and be a part of this tackle. Let's build my stats up. Let's fly to the football, not only to build my stats, but to get the guy down.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to fly to the football. Everybody fly to the football, gang tackle, be there for your teammates to help clean up those tackles where a kid may be bigger than me, but I'm going to hold him up for about 3 seconds, and I hope my teammate's going to come flying to the football to make that tackle. And tonight, they've got some running backs and that quarterback that's big enough boys that it's going to take maybe more than one kid to bring them down, especially the fact that a lot of these kids are 18, and some of the ones that are going to be doing the tackling may be 14, And so that if you can get in there and just be that pest and hold on to that kid long enough for your teammates to fly to the football, that's what's going to make the difference tonight.
I love it.
Then the third thing is no big plays. Guys, we have seen it week after week where these, our defensive backs are right there to make a play to knock that ball down, but they're just a little bit inexperienced on getting that head around, finding the football, keeping control of their body, finding the football, going up and high pointing it, knocking it down, or going up and making a play and get that interception. Don't let those kids get behind you. Don't lose them. Don't let them get anything deep on you. Make sure if you're man-to-man, you're going wherever that kid goes. I said it a couple weeks ago. If he goes to the bathroom, you're going with him. You stick with that player. Don't let them get behind you. Don't let them get that big play and get that momentum going behind them, because they're already, like I said, I've said it over and over, they're older, they're more experienced. But if you can keep those big plays down, that's going to be a big part of the success of the football game tonight. So keep the mistakes down, fly to the football, and don't let them have any big plays over the top that's going to really give them the momentum.
I love it. That's your Legacy Insurance and Legacy Financial Services keys to the game for the Cashion Wildcats. Again, appreciate Chris and Christina and Megan, and who else am I missing?
That's it right now.
There.
Yep.
Doing
and me.
great. And, well, of course you, Chris. Taking care of us downtown, and a lot of action going on downtown.
There it is, man. It's a hopping place right now with the coffee shop and Bruce Temple putting in the new Mercantile there next door to me. So if you haven't been downtown to see all of the improvements, you should. It's a pretty cool and it's exciting time for the town of Cashion.
Heck yeah! All right, so we have our captains coming to midfield.
And don't forget, come see me and buy your circus tickets.
That's
I'm supposed to plug that. If you're watching and you've got a young child, or if you just like the circus,
who doesn't like the circus?
Come on and buy some tickets from me. All the proceeds go to the cost of the Little League football,
Love it.
Little League sports in general for the Cashion community.
All right, so speaking of circus, we got captains out at midfield. Wildcats in their traditional maroon, golden maroon look. It's a fantastic look. I know Clayton Harmon definitely gives his thumbs up on this particular look. Wildcats in maroon helmets, gold tops, maroon pants. It'll be the Minco Bulldogs going all white with a little blue here and there. They've got a good look as well. It'll be captains Max Higdon, Caleb Duran, Caden Seeley, and Tommy Branson out at midfield. My man, Captain Jimmy Jones sitting at 50. Looks like the coin toss has been flipped. It looks like Minco has won the toss. It looks like they're going to go ahead and, they're going to have them come in and shake hands, I guess, or come in a little bit tighter. Looks like Wildcats will receive the ball, so Wildcats will receive, and even if they'd won the toss, they would have received it. So a big shout out to our officials. We got a five-man crew here today. Can't have the games without them. And again, Chris, like we say every week.
Hey, just appreciate the heck out of these guys coming out, providing some law and order to the football field, because without that you don't really have a competition. You don't have a game. You just have a bunch of kids running around, and we saw it earlier in this year without a crew that showed up that canceled last minute. We had to have a scrimmage on a Thursday night with the junior high kids.
Did that game ever get made up?
We did. We wound up playing Crescent the next week.
And how'd that end up?
It's like it was kissing your sister.
It was a tie?
It was a tie, yeah. But we had, I think, which I didn't realize.
It was on the road, right?
We were in Crescent.
Okay.
Didn't realize, but I guess Crescent plays 7 or 8 freshmen on their junior high team.
Yeah, they've done that historically.
And so, but the thing is, I mean, we hung right there with them, and it was wound up being a tie with a great chance to win the ball game at the end, and just fumbled the snap on the 2-point conversion in overtime. But the young Wildcats, I mean, there's some kids there that's got some skill and some size and some heart, and it was fun to watch.
Good, I love it. Fantastic. Yeah, and that's historically the situation. Cashion has never played freshmen, but we've always gone on the road, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, softball, and we see freshmen all
and
the time.
that's fine. Like I really think it makes our kids better. So.
Absolutely, I totally agree. So with that, Wildcats will take the field. Minco's taking the field, and we're just a few seconds away from kickoff. Again, we appreciate you guys joining us here on Cashion Wildcats TV, powered by Squirtle. If you would love to advertise with us and be one of the 750,000 folks that have watched and viewed the Cashion Wildcat TV broadcast over the last 5 years going on, definitely go on the CashionWildcats.tv website. Check that red advertise box. There's a lot of great options. Definitely would love to have you keeping this free of charge. Folks, as we travel. Big shout out to Coach Chambers and the softball team. Their season did come to an end today, but not after a fight. The Wildcats went down to the Minco Regional, went to the finals, lost to the home team, Minco. Lost to Minco last night, had to come back today.
1-0. I mean, it was a tough one.
A tough
loss.
One. And today's loss, again, sends the Wildcats packing. But again, they lose 2 seniors. Big shout out to Reese Williams and Charlie Carson. But Wildcats are bringing everybody back.
And some stud freshmen.
And some freshman folks having a chance to kind of add to Coach Chambers and the program growing. So big shout out to them. And a big shout out to the cheer team as they'll be going to Tulsa Union, to their to Tulsa, Oklahoma, up the Turnpike for cheer competition state. The Wildcats were regional champions in Stroud last week.
Is that the first time we've won the regional
I think it is.
championship?
I think it is.
Because, I mean, I know we've won state runner-up a time or
Yes.
two, but I always think that
Yes.
they just qualified for state
Yep.
by, runner-up at regional. And so, winning the region is a huge confidence boost going into
I
the
would
state
be pumped
competition.
Up. So shout out to Coach Amber Hopgood and Coach Casey Williams and the girls as they head on up to Tulsa tomorrow. I believe their routine is at 11 o'clock, so they'd love to have you support. All right, Wildcats in kickoff return formation. It's freshman Grayson Davis. Guy's been growing minute by minute. We love seeing Grayson out there. He's sitting at the 10-yard line. It'll be number 5, Reed McMurtry. We've talked about him. Senior do-it-all quarterback, DB, also kicking here. We'll do extra point duties for Coach Wardlaw. And with that, we've got Cashion Wildcat football. That one's going to land right around the 12, in and out of the hands of Grayson Davis. He'll cut back up the middle, try to find a lane. He does make positive yards all the way out to the 26-yard line, where the Wildcats will take over, first down and 10.
Yeah, you notice a little bit of a bobble there, and if he would have caught that clean, there was a little bit of a crease there that he could have maybe hit, but by the time that he was able to get up there to it, the Minco Bulldogs were able to stop him. But it could have been worse. We've seen worse field position this year. So starting at the 25, let's string some plays together to get something, a little bit of momentum here going into this first quarter.
Davis in shotgun jet sweep is a keeper by Ethan Wasso, the sophomore quarterback, and he's immediately met right around. That'll be no gain, almost a slight loss. So that'll bring up second down. And we saw some success with that particular play against Thomas, but definitely against when the Wildcats kind of try to reinvent themselves a little bit last week against Walters.
Yeah, that time, what you're trying to do there is just kind of get those linebackers watching that motion guy. But being that they haven't seen this game yet, that linebacker stayed home. He filled the gap there and kept the gain to a minimal.
So
that's just a little bit of a run to the left there, and man, the defensive line for the Minco Bulldogs is just
not small.
Moving. No, they are massive kids up there, and we're not getting much of a push, but give the Cashion Wildcat front a chance to kind of get their feet underneath them, and they'll start making some lanes for the Cashion Wildcat running backs.
All right, so third down and 9 here for the Wildcats, right around the 26-yard line. Actually, we have a jet sweep now. Look here as Grayson Davis will relocate. Looks like pass rolling to his right. Higdon in the slot, catches, moves forward, and that'll be a first down for the Wildcats. Great job by Ethan Waswo, rolling right and finding his man, the junior, Max Higdon.
Yeah, great job right there by Ethan. Like you said, kind of stepped back, looked at that bubble screen, just kind of keep the Minco Bulldogs at bay, and then Max Higdon runs a great route, knows where the chains are, gets out there, turns around, and Ethan fires a strike to him to pick up the first down for the Cashion Wildcats. I love those kind of plays right there with the kids that we have at our disposal. I think those are going to be the plays that are going to make us get down the field.
Deep sideline, Davis goes up, makes the catch, wide open. We do have a flag down, unfortunately. I hope this is not a holding. Ethan Waswo staying patient. Great job by the line. This may actually, unfortunately, may be coming back.
they pointed towards the Cashion Wildcats as a hold. So, yeah, it's coming back. But great route combination right there. Having Grayson coming across in the backfield in motion, having Max kind of going towards that hash mark, had that deep safety going over the top of him and just snuck Grayson Davis right up that sideline for a huge play. But a little bit of hanky in the backfield, you can't hold. And that's what happens when you have big number 3 up there for the Minco Bulldogs, Ashton Taylor. He's coming around that edge, and it's hard to keep in front of him. And sometimes you got to reach out there and stop him before he kills your quarterback. And so those things are going to happen. But now let's get out here and make another play.
Pressure comes up, number 9. That was Sebastian Valdez, a sophomore, unabated blitz coming in. It was a good call there as Caleb Durant snuck out to Ethan Waswo, points to his chest as my bad, as he kind of didn't put enough air on that, and Durant couldn't find that. That's been something the Wildcats will have to work. That'll bring up second down. I don't think it's 30, but it's second down and about 20 here for the Wildcats. They've marched. They've had to move back to the 30-yard line here after that penalty mark off. Double back set here with Jones and Durant on each side of Waswo. Back to pass. Waswo will look back to his left. He's got Durant in the flats. Colors back up 35, 40, and hit out of bounds. No flag as he takes a hit into the bench. Player safety certainly should be a paramount concern, but nonetheless, Durant's a tough guy. He can take it and gets back that holding penalty where it's third down and manageable for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and you saw Ashton Taylor again there going around that edge and almost getting to Ethan, but Ethan, with that clock in his head, knew he had to deliver, and he got it over to Caleb to pick up, half of what they needed. Now, third down. We've already picked up a third and about 10 the first time. Let's see what the Cashion Wildcats can draw up now.
Blitz is on. No offside call there. Let's look like number 9, Sebastian Valdez, may have gone across, but Wildcats will go 2 by 1. It'll be freshman. Is that Smith? Kellen Smith flagged out by himself on the boundary. We'll have a timeout. Good call there as the play clock was winding down. So with 10 minutes on the clock, Wildcats staring at a 3rd and 10. We'll go to timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
Support your school's Booster Club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers.
Talk about a win-win.
Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Kyle and Gina Van Druff have the answers to all your real estate and insurance needs. These guys will have you covered in a one-stop shopping experience. They are local agents, local supporters, and active in the Cashion community. They are also proud parents of past and present Cashion students. Kyle and Gina help their clients make the right choice. Don't wait till it's too late. Call 405-607-4300. Go Wildcats and number 88. Let's have a great year.
Walk it up. Get you some.
Back to Cashion Wildcat TV to Maxon Field with the Wildcats taking on the Minco Bulldogs. It's district action, game 1 for the Wildcats. Again, hosting the Minco Bulldogs here, and Wildcats with the ball here. Opening drive started at the 26-yard line. Had a couple big plays, one that came back. It's 3rd and 10 from the 40, 10:01 here. Wildcats will go empty, trips right, double tight end look here. Snap, Waswo will roll to his right. He's got Grayson Davis in the flats, goes up high, makes the catch. Oh! In and out of his hands. It would have been enough for a first down. And that's what you were talking about, Chris, at the beginning here in terms of plays that need to be made for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's one of those mistakes you got to keep to a minimum. When it hits your hands and you're open like that, that's a first down to keep the ball in the hands of the Cashion Wildcat offense for another 4 plays. We talked about it in the break there. Is this four down territory? And I said, heck yeah. Because remember last week against Walters, we punt in this situation. Wasn't a good punt. Put him in a real good position. Now, the Cashion Wildcats, let's pick this 4th down up.
Waswo throws one off his back foot, and that's when it's going to go out of bounds. Give credit to Jake Caruth. We talked about him in the pregame, the senior coming in, putting the lick on Waswo. It was just enough to where it floated out of bounds. Intended receiver was Max Higdon. So unfortunately, with the penalty and then also with the dropped pass, Wildcats will end up having a turnover of downs, and it'll be first down for the Minco Bulldogs from the Cashion 40-yard line.
Yeah, and I like what I saw right there with Coach Shackelford just going out there talking with Ethan. He's sitting there saying, yes, sir. I think he could see something later on in the game that could be a big play.
All right, so 1st and 10 from the 49 on the clock, single back set. We've got Reed McMurtry, the senior quarterback.
That's offsides on the offense there. Yep.
A little false start there. That was one that was not called. In fact, I had a lot of folks actually kind of chime in regarding the Walters game, and I even had a high school official chime in who watched the game as well and said, yep, he confirmed what we said. And a lot of times, with the umpire now backed up with the referee, both behind the ball,
it's hard to see that.
Sometimes it's harder to see that snap and that movement. All right, with the mark off, 1st and 15 from the 45, in motion coming across is number 12, Reese Nest, and we'll have another false start.
Yeah, number 2 down here on this near side, Ben Birchfield, which is one of their leading leaders as a senior. He just jumped. They're anticipating and ready to go, but you've got to watch the ball if you're the Minco football. I ain't complaining as a Cashion Wildcat fan, but for a player, you got to watch that football and don't jump off sides.
All right, with another 5-yard mark off, it's 1st and 20 from the 50. In motion is Birchfield now left to right. Back to pass, McMurtry in the flats. It's Birchfield. He's going to catch. Right on the 45, will make a move, makes Kellen
That's a block
Smith
in the back.
miss, and it looks like we should have one. Do we have a flag down?
How do you not call that a block in the back?
I agree. So a big pickup there for Birchfield from the 50. All the way down, looks like to the 25-yard line. That'll be a 1st down. So the senior makes up for his mistakes. The Minco Bulldogs will go back. It'll be single back set. It'll be number 9. That's Sebastian Valdez in the backfield with McMurtry in motion coming back across. Jet sweep not there. McMurtry back to pass. Across the middle, Valdez. He's hit in the middle of the back. A little high for him. Give credit to Kellen Smith coming over with a little contact, and that'll be an incompletion. 2nd down and 10.
A good job of Kellen coming off of his receiver, coming over, and even though it was a high pass, Kellen did the right thing and coming in and trying to, he doesn't know if that's going to be high or not. He came in and put a hit on the receiver. That not only helps break that pass up, but just makes him think he's coming next time too.
Deep pass across the middle, hit, dropped. Great job, Max Higdon coming in. Footsteps as number 2, Ben Birchfield, the senior, in and out of his hands. And that's what we wanted out of Max last week. I love seeing him get uncorked and coming in for that hit here at safety from the safety spot.
Fly to the football. And that's one of our keys to the game was fly to the football. Go put a hit on somebody because it matters. As the game goes on, if you're physical, flying to the football, making big hits, it matters in the football game.
And unfortunately, Reed McMurtry on the keeper will roll in, and that's going to be a 25-yard touchdown run for McMurtry. Little read option there for the senior, flashing his speed, and Wildcats completely befuzzled as McMurtry.
Was that going to be an option with the receiver out
I think it was a busted play.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, if that was the play, that had a lot of moving parts in. But, man, he just kind of rolled out there. Nobody had that outside contain on this near side, and he was able to just stroll into the end zone for the Bulldog touchdown.
2-point conversion underway, inside handoff, and that'll be good as number 25, Jake Caruth, we talked about him, the senior, easily runs it in. And with that, it'll be Wildcat 0, Minco 8 with 9:11 here in the first quarter. So what started at this 40-yard line for the Minco Bulldogs, a couple penalties, ended up being a flip into the flat there on the far side to number 2, Ben Birchfield. He gets that all the way to the 20, and then it's to the 25, and then after that, it's Reed McMurtry, the senior. We have a lot of seniors. We've been saying this. I know.
Hey,
it's a broken record.
We'll have a lot of seniors. We'll get there.
we'll get there. And again, we're competing against teams who have all seniors, right?
Yeah.
So,
and the thing is, I was talking to Mr. Brown out here, Hank Brown's grandpa, and he was like, I think, what was it, 2-3 years ago when we went down there and just hammered them, which we had a squad that went and won the state championship, but at the same time, they had some massive kids up on the front line that were just, like you said, when you see them getting off the bus, it was like, holy cow. But they had a lot of young skill players. Well, those young skill players, you know who they are now? Nope. They're seniors, and they're out there making big plays on the offensive side of the football for the Bulldogs. So we're in that position right now. Let's learn, let's get better, and then have our chance to shine. But right now, I just want to see these kids get out there and compete and make them earn everything that they get and give yourself a chance to maybe win this ball game and pull out an upset.
Kickoff underway. That's deep. It's going to go over the head of Davis into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. It'll be Wildcat football. So wind is pretty brisk. It's working from east to west. It's right to left on your screen. And I don't know, it's probably close to about 25, 30 miles per hour. It's pretty brisk out here. So with that, Wildcats will take over their second possession from the 20-yard line. Wildcat turnover of downs on their first one, had a couple chances to continue to work into Minco territory. Two-back set here for Waswo and the gang. As we've got Max Higdon aced out by himself, back to pass. Little keeper by Waswo. He's going to move forward and get some positive yards, maybe one or two. So the intended receivers out there, we had Timmy Jones in the flats. We had Grayson Davis deep, and in and around right around the linebacker spot was Max Higdon.
Yeah, good tough run right there by Ethan. Just kind of got past that first line of the Minco Bulldogs and kind of bounced around Bulldog style or bulldozer style and picked up a few yards there for the Cashion Wildcats on first down.
I loved it. And he didn't make a mistake. Took 2 yards, didn't force anything there. So that brings up 2nd and 8 from the 22. In motion is Grayson Davis. Jet sweep. Keeper Davis will get hit, bounces off, and unfortunately loses a few more yards as the Minco Bulldogs were ready for that one.
Yeah, and they marked him down where he actually got tackled. The forward progress, I didn't think it was as far back as what that was because, we were 2 yards. It was 2nd and 8?
Yep.
And so I didn't think he was brought down. Where he was brought down was not where his forward progress stopped. But either way, it's going to be 3rd and about 14. I like those plays, man. Just keep running those route trees and those different route combinations and let Ethan really try to pick apart that defensive backfield for the Minco Bulldogs. That's where we've had our biggest success.
Number 6 in for the Cashion Wildcats. It's Austin Compton at receiver. He's going to curl around the right side. Ethan Waswo is going to roll out. He's going to just throw it. He gets it across the line of scrimmage. That'll be no good. Coach Wardlaw wants the intentional grounding. He was outside the tackle box. And actually, tackle box doesn't matter as long as you get it across the at least as far as I know here in high school football in Oklahoma. So that'll bring up 4th and long, 7:39 on the clock as the incompletion will stop the clock. Wildcats will punt.
And that time, you had those receivers with those deep routes. And, if that ball doesn't get out at some point as a receiver, you want to say, okay, look back and say, my quarterback's scrambling. I've got to help him out. Find an open spot, try to get away lose that defender, and get out there and make a play.
Short punt. That one's caught by number 33. And give credit to the Minco Bulldogs having a guy in the area, and that was Riker Johnson. And we talked about the punt duties. That's a head scratcher for me, as I thought Waltman was probably the more capable punter of the two. But Wildcats give up probably maybe a 15-yard punt. That one's returned to the 25. So it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 25. And great field position working for the Minco Bulldogs on their second possession. Power look here under center for McMurtry. Jake Caruth in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff, and it'll be met after a gain of a few yards. Timmy Jones was in the area. Couldn't get him down, but eventually brought down by, looks like Caleb Duran, and give Austin Compton a little credit there on the tackle. So that'll be a gain of about 6.
A little bit of a power look there for the Minco Bulldogs, which, we haven't seen that in the past from the Minco Bulldogs. It just you're used to them kind of lining up, that shotgun, spread them out, throw the ball. But they probably saw that, the size of Cashion right now, that might be one of the things that they could have a strength or a mismatch. And that time, the Cashion Wildcats did a great job of stretching that out and getting out there and making that tackle before he was able to turn the corner.
Yeah, good effort there by the junior Timmy Jones out there in pursuit, wide side. Nice work, Drew Westerhoff also helping from the safety spot. So a gain of 1 brings up 3rd and 1 from the 16, 6:46 on the clock. Power look here for Minco. Trying to draw the Wildcats offside. That doesn't work, so McMurtry will step back, take a look at the playbook. Everyone will take a look at their card. 6:35, again, 11 on the play clock. Little motion didn't call. Inside handoff to number 25, Jake Caruth. And it looks like it'll be enough for the 1st down. Unfortunately, I felt like they missed the false start again as Caruth and the wingman in motion moved to, but it looks like that will be enough for a 1st down. So Minco moving the chains.
And that is the same kind of offense that Walters was running last week. And whenever you have that running back moving right at the snap of the football, it's a close call. And like you said, if he goes a little bit early, that should be called because you have a guy in motion as well.
So with that, a handoff inside. And we talked about him at the beginning of the game, and that's Jake Caruth, the senior, and he's going to bully his way in for a touchdown. So that's a 14-yard touchdown run by Caruth.
Yeah, just a strong kid that's going to keep his feet driving. And that time, nobody really went low and wrapped those legs up, and he was able to keep pumping those legs and driving and just carried a slew of Wildcats over the goal line for the Bulldog touchdown.
You know, I was thinking about that punting situation with Riker Johnson. I would love seeing him on a fake, right? I mean, that's something
no
you could see. From a standpoint, when you're deep in our own territory, you need a little bit of distance. And so with that, the Wildcats do give up the 14-yard touchdown run. It'll be a 2-point conversion. McMurtry will roll to his left. Little boot pass out, and it'll be caught. He's hit, but he hangs on. So give credit to Drew Westerhoff with a big hit. And we do have a flag, and we'll have holding. Wow.
Yeah, and that was a good hit by Drew, but you got to know where that line is. If he is running that short little out to the flats, try to jump that in that situation, try to jump that and take it for two the other way. But I like that he actually put a big hit on the receiver. That's going to kind of ring true in his mind for the next time.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so with the mark off, it'll be a really long 2-point conversion. And I tell you what, McMurtry, I saw him in the in warm-ups. He can boot it, too, from an extra point perspective with the wind. But looks like Minco's trying to continue to add and take advantage of the scenario and situation. Looks like we'll have a equipment situation as number 8 has checked in for Minco. That's Jaden Seriath, the senior. Again, a ton of seniors on this team. 1, 2, 3. I cannot lie for you. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 seniors. All right, so with that, McMurtry will go in shotgun here from the 13-yard line. 2-point conversion. Wildcats showing a little pressure with Caleb Duran coming in. Back to that corner, and it's no good. So nice work there by the DBs, and we'll have another flag, most likely another holding call on the inside.
Yeah, good job of the defensive backs to get out there and stay with those receivers that were trying to run a little bit of a rub out there to get a kid open into the corner of the end zone. But the Minco Bulldogs kind of run into each other.
All right, let's take a quick timeout. Be right back. Cashion Wildcats TV.
Cashion FBC is a church seeking to grow in Christ and our love for the body of Christ. With ministries from children to youth to adults, we strive to present the gospel in an engaging and meaningful way. Sunday school meets at 9:45 a.m. and worship starts at 11 a.m. Children and youth meet on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Please check our website at cashionfbc.org for more information, and we hope to see you this Sunday, located a half-mile east of Cashion.
Welcome back, Cashion Wildcat TV, Cashion Wildcats television live from Maxon Field in Cashion, Oklahoma. Neiman Abavi, Chris Gibson bringing today's action as the Wildcats taking on district foe Minco, game 1 of district play. Wildcats ready to receive their third possession of the game. Wildcats down 14-0 here with 6 minutes. Let's see if the Wildcats can get something going here on offense.
I want to see Grayson catch this clean and try to find a lane because he's got the speed. If he can find that lane, he can make a big return here.
I love it. McMurtry, the senior, with the kickoff. It's going to be end over end spinner. Grayson Davis will let it bounce. He'll pick it up at the 12. He's got 4 guys blocking for him. And the Minco Bulldogs are able to get through that blocking. And it'll be a short return, but Wildcats will start from the 20-yard line.
And if those kids are out there watching this or going back and rewatching this or watching film on Huddle, right there, you want to lock up with the person you're blocking and drive your feet, because right there you kind of had kids get out there to block. They didn't continue to drive their feet, and the kid was able to get off the block, go and make a tackle when we had 4 blockers to, I think, maybe 2 or 3 Minco Bulldogs there. When you have the numbers like that, you should lock up, drive your feet, and really be able to spring your return guy for a big game.
All right, so Wildcats will go back to that 2-back set with Timmy Jones and Caleb Duran surrounding our man Ethan Waswa, the sophomore quarterback. Up top, 2 receivers, and we'll have a false start here.
But isn't that the same exact thing that was happening on the other side of the football just on that earlier play and last week about 5 times? But, I mean, that's the right call.
It's the right call. It's the right call. So that is, I believe, we're at the 6th penalty or 7th penalty of the game already here in the first quarter. Not super clean. So we'll stay in that same formation. Again, Grayson Davis and our man Drew Westerhoff up top. Max Higdon, the junior here, aced up against number 12, Reese Ness, the senior. In motion is Timmy Jones. Back to pass is Waswo. In the flat, Jones will catch. Will cut back inside. Little mini tunnel. And he'll get it back 2 or 3 on that 5-yard play. So a little reception there. Wildcats get positive yards.
And I don't know if that was supposed to go, out to the outside and get outside of that receiver to go down the sideline. But Timmy Jones saw an opening, and he just put his foot in the ground and got as many yards as he could. And I think that was the right decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually got 4 on that reception, so that'll bring up 2nd down and 11 from the 19. 5:21 on the clock. Wildcats will get Davis in motion here. Back to pass, Waswa rolling to his right. He's going to come outside to Davis. He'll catch that at the 20, 25, and he's tackled right around the 28-yard line. So nice job there by Grayson Davis going up high to catch that. And I'll bring 3rd and manageable here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, good job out there. Good job by Ethan that time to really have – he kind of had to move his body to make that throw around a defensive player that was coming around that edge. So good job by Ethan delivering a strike. And that time, you saw Grayson drop a pass earlier. That one made a great play, got up there, and was able to catch that and get 3rd and manageable. But we have a fumble snap there, and let's see what Cashion Wildcats decide to do here, if they decide to keep the ball in the hands of Ethan or punt it away.
Looks like they're going to go for it. So those mistakes we're talking about. 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 2 and 3. Also in and out of his hands, back to pass. He's looking for a flare, and nothing there. That one's broken up, and that'll be another turnover of downs. And just like Walters, Minco Bulldogs starting from the Cashion 40, Cashion 25 will be starting again from the Cashion 25 for their 3rd possession.
Yeah, and that time you just had a blitz come on from the Bulldogs and not really give Ethan any time to find a receiver down the field, and he tried to lob one out there to a receiver that was still trying to work to get open, but it was just a little bit too rushed, which in Ethan's defense had to be rushed because there was someone in his face. But man, a tough turn of events there. We had a good gain on 2nd down to give us 3rd and manageable. And like I said, you got to keep those mistakes to a minimal. And when you have that 3rd down and 2 and fumble the ball, puts you back at 4th and 5, it opens up Minco to really just put their ears back and try to get you. And that's what happened there to get the Cashion Wildcats to get it turned over on downs.
So false start for Minco Bulldogs, and almost, I'm telling you, it could be almost every play. So that'll bring up another 5. This is their 4th false start of the game. Wildcats, they have themselves one as well. So 1st and 15 from the, looks like from the 24. It'll, actually, I apologize, from the 28-29. 4:12 on the clock. Under center again is McMurtry. He's going to give it back up to his man. And this time, nowhere to go is Caden Seeley and Timmy Jones, along with Caleb Duran, says, "Nuh-uh, Mr. Caruth." And that'll be basically almost a tackle for loss, and it'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, I love seeing the Cashion Wildcats fired up after that play. I mean, that's what you got to see. We haven't seen a lot of just enthusiasm and excitement. That time, a big stop on 1st down there. And the Cashion Wildcats showed that enthusiasm, knocking helmets and just slapping each other on the head. That's what you got to see. I want to see that excitement. And after big plays, celebrate them at this point in where we're at. You have a big play. I don't care if you're down by 14 or not. Celebrate that big play and build off of those little bit of wins every single time you make one.
So with that, actually it's 2nd down and long, I apologize, from the 29. So with that, we'll have a timeout. So we'll take a timeout ourselves. We'll be right back. Cashion Wildcats TV.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
All right, welcome back, Cashion Wildcat TV. Live from Maxon Field as your Wildcats are taking on the Minco Bulldogs. Wildcats on defense, down 14-0. It's been short field, short sledding here for the Minco Bulldogs and as they have their third possession of the game. Again, appreciate you guys joining us, Neiman Abavi and my man Chris Gibson. We've got Jackson Drake producing, and give a shout out to Gage Beddick and on the field cam, as well as Maddox Gibson up top on the stadium cam. So with that, under center again is McMurtry. In the backfield is Jake Caruth, the senior running back. Full bow set, little jet sweep. That's number 14 going out on the right side in pursuit. No hold call. Should have been called as looked like Timmy Jones was locked up with his hands up in the air. So unfortunately not called, and we'll give credit to number 14. A lot of guys playing today. Noah Johnson, another senior. Again, one of those 16, 17 seniors here for Coach Wardlaw, is using them all tonight. So nice pickup there. Brings up 3rd down and 8 from the 22. Fullback set here. Again, back to pass is McMurtry looking to his left. Pressure from the side. Up top in the end zone, and it is caught. Nice job there by number 2, Ben Birchfield, the senior from senior Reed McMurtry, turning his body. And that'll be a 22-yard hookup for the 3rd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, that time we brought a lot of pressure, knowing that they're probably going to, it was kind of a throwing situation there, and put a little bit of pressure, brought a blitz from the outside on that far side, and put all of those defensive backs in a position that you have man-to-man. You've got to stay with that receiver. That receiver, Max kind of let that kid run right by him, and the quarterback, number 5, Reed McMurtry, is good enough. He can put it out there where he needs to be. If you have a guy open, he's going to put it out there. So Max has got to learn from that. Do not let a guy run by you. If you see him running, turn your hips, get going with him, get out there, high point the football, either bring it in or knock it down.
Extra point is good for the Minco Bulldogs. It moves the count to 22-0 here. So with 3:10 left, it's a 3-score lead here for the Bulldogs. Wildcats, 3 possessions, turnover of downs, punt, turnover and downs for the Minco Bulldogs. They had drives of 40 yards, 25 yards, and 25 yards, leading to 3 touchdown scores. Wildcats have gotten close to the 50. They've had a couple of chances, and certainly those mistakes have continued to creep here. With the wind here moving this way, Wildcats will have to contend with another long kickoff here by McMurtry. He's got a good leg. It's Grayson Davis sitting at the 10-yard line.
Let's see if the Cashion Wildcats can put together a drive here, even if it doesn't end in a touchdown. Put a drive together that you don't have a mistake. We haven't had one of those drives this game yet. Put a drive together where you don't fumble, where you don't have a penalty, where you don't have a drop pass that hits you in the hands. That's the only way that you're going to be able to sustain any kind of success, and I want to see that happen right
Davis
here.
From the 10, cuts up the middle, he's got a small lane, still on his feet, moving forward, and that's the kickoff return the Wildcats needed. He got some good blocking, broke a couple of tackles, 20-yard return, and we do have a flag on
47-yard line. I don't know, that was a long way away from the play. I don't know if there was a late hit or something, but you saw right there what I was talking about. Grayson caught that one clean and was able to catch it and really hit the seam that opens up. I mean, it's a kind of a timing thing when you're running those the kickoff. You get those guys up front blocking, there's a seam that opens up, and it doesn't open for very long. So if you have that receiver back there catch the ball and be able to hit it fast, there's a good chance that they're going to make a play. And I don't know how he saw a hold from about the 50-yard line, but I guess he did.
All right, with the mark off, that negates the big return there by Grayson Davis. The Wildcats will start on their, looks like their 20, 21-yard line. Single back set, Timmy Jones will go in motion to his left. Waspo back to pass. Little comeback from Higdon. He'll take his eyes off of that one. It's a little bit low, but if he catches that, that's about a 5-yard gain, and that's a difference in this game right now.
Yeah, and that's one of those mistakes right there. When they're playing that far off of you, take that 5 yards every single time. And if they're playing that far off of you, run them off the ball, turn, catch, pick up another 5 yards the next time. Now that he's moved up on him, is he going to try to go over the top?
All right, so 2nd and long, double back set, handoff inside. Caleb Duran weaving and moving. Gets a few yards. Nice tough run there by Caleb Duran, breaking a couple of hand tackles. And it looks like they're going to give him a spot of about 2 yards. Looked like he felt closer to the 25, so it'll bring up 3rd down and long. So 2-yard gain brings up 3rd and 8 here, 2:38 on the clock from the 21, 22-yard line. Double back set again for Waswo and the gang. And looks like that should be offside. So nice work there by the Cashion Wildcats getting another penalty, and it'll make it 3rd and manageable.
Yep, now we have another 3rd and manageable. But last time we saw what happened with the 3rd and manageable, you had a mistake. Let's clean those mistakes up right here and try to pick up this 1st down and then stack those 1st downs all the way down the field.
I love it. All right, so 3rd and 3, 2:26 on the clock. Waswo in shotgun. Higdon matched up against number 2, Ben Birchfield, all the way up top of your screen. Inside give. Jones moves forward. Is that going to be enough for a 1st down? And it looks like it will. So the Wildcats get their first down of the game here with 2:21 on the clock. So nice job there by Jones, and the run game kind of helping out the Wildcats.
Yeah, good job by the boys up front. They knew what they needed, and they were able to fire off the ball and really create a little bit of a seam there for Mr. Timmy Jones to pick up that 1st down.
All right, so empty set here. Drew Westerhoff by himself up top. Double tight end set, 12 personnel. Grayson Davis and Higdon closest to us in motion is Westerhoff. Rolling back out, little swing pass. Westerhoff will come up, makes one guy sort of miss. A nice little move there on number 12, Reese Nest. He falls forward, clock runs. So unlike last week where that forward pass was called a fumble, this one is caught. Gain of about 1 or 2 here for Westerhoff.
Yeah, I mean, positive yards on 1st down. That's a good thing. Like you said, that time the timing was there. Ethan did a good job of turning his shoulders, delivering a ball out there where Drew could catch it. He wasn't able to make that kid miss, but he was able to pick up positive yards. Next time he makes that kid miss, it's another 5 yards. You know, that's the things that you want to have happen, and that's even though it was only 2 yard or 1 yard, it's better than a negative.
Empty set, back to pass. Waswo looking across route, and not sure if we had a little communication. Waswo was hit on the play, and again, you talked about your man Ashton Taylor with the pressure. Intended receiver was Max Higdon over his head. Looks like he kind of maybe just stopped his motion and.
I think the reason he stopped his motion is because he got hammered. Are you talking about Ethan?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't anything that he wanted to do. It's just he couldn't throw it because he came free and had a free shot on Ethan, and he did everything he could to get that ball to Max, which Max had a seam and was open, but, man, he just didn't have enough time to deliver it.
3rd and 9, rolling to his left, swing pass out there, intended for Grayson Davis, or actually Kellen Smith, almost picked off by number 2. That was Ben Birchfield, and that'll bring up 4th down and 9.
That time you had a little sprint out there for Ethan. I haven't seen the Cashion Wildcat offense ever really sprint out a quarterback and have him just look down the field to find a receiver's open. It's more of just a pocket passer. And that time they let Ethan kind of sprint out there, try to find somebody open, and he didn't see the safety over the top there, and he almost came around and made an interception.
Empty set here for 4th and 9. Back to pass, Waswo. Pressure's going deep. He's got Higdon, and that one was well out of bounds. Yeah. Higdon was open. He had beaten his man, number 12, Reese Ness, down the sideline, and we've kind of seen that. That's been kind of the story here where Higdon and Waswo just haven't hooked up on that go route where Higdon at times, well, a lot of times has gotten free. He's gotten down. He's beaten the coverage. And Waswo, again, is trying to stay protective, I guess. I don't know, Chris, you could probably discuss that.
Right there, you just want to keep that ball in bounds. You want to give your receiver a chance. That time, after the throw, I look back at Ethan, and, he's just with his hands on his helmet. He knows he he led that out there a little bit too far on the outside, because you want to give that a chance inside the field of play, because if your receiver goes up and makes a play, great, you get a first down. And even if it comes over, if the defense comes over and makes an interception,
almost a punt.
It's as good as a punt.
Yep.
So you want to put that ball in play and give your receiver a chance to go up and make a play. And right there, Max was running pretty free, and so I think Ethan knows, hey, I've got to make a better throw right there, and he'll make that throw the next time.
I mean, that's a great point, and Shaq's coached a little bit of football in his time, and that's probably what he's been thinking. That's what he's been doing early in the year, right?
Yep.
Kind of doing those go routes, as good as a punt, right? And
yep.
And so, let's see if Waswo can make those adjustments. So with that penalty, that'll move it back. I believe it was either a block in the back or a holding, so it'll be 1st and 15, or 1st and about 14, inside handoff, cuts back through, number 14. He's still on his feet as Austin Compton's trying to drag him down, so give credit to Noah Johnson. Guess what? A senior here for Coach Warlaw. He's getting some action on the handoff, and that'll be enough for a first down. So with 49 seconds, it'll be the Minco Bulldogs in the red zone again.
Yeah, that time just a run up the middle there. The linebackers have got to find that gap. Depending on where those linemen go, you got to fill that gap and stop that run.
Inside hand back off. Missed tackle, broken tackle there. Matthew Stockton was the first guy there. Give credit again to number 14. That's Noah Johnson. Noah Johnson, the senior at running back at tailback now. And give credit to Coach Wardlaw. He has given, at least this is probably the 8th guy to get a touch here today for the Minco Bulldogs. So under 20 seconds here, actually 12 seconds on the clock. This may be the last play of the first quarter. Shotgun is McMurtry in motion, number 18, Landon McMahon, the sophomore, inside back. And that will be a carry for enough for a first down for the Minco Bulldogs inside the 10-yard line, and it'll be 1st and goal. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Wildcats, a couple of good things happening their way, but it's been all Minco. And as we move to the second quarter, Wildcats find themselves down 22-0. We'll take a quick timeout and be right back. CWTV.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at Squirtle.com/stream.
Presenting Regato Ranch, located within the Cashion School District and offering homebuyers the experience of small-town charm with the modern world of shopping, dining, and healthcare just minutes away. Situated east of Highway 74, Regato Ranch boasts 1-acre home sites with privacy and ample space to retire or raise a family.
To build your next home from the ground up or to inquire about new properties currently for sale, contact Brandon or Shannon Cotter with Iron Creek Homes and C7 Realty.
Come find your forever home at Regato Ranch.
And go Wildcats!
Welcome back. Cashion Wildcat TV production of Cashion Wildcat Football 2023. Team of Bobby, Chris Gibson, bringing tonight's action live from Maxon Field as your Cashion Wildcats hosting the Minco Bulldogs in District 8-3 play. The Wildcats down 22-0 here as we start the second quarter, and it's the Minco Bulldogs who are driving again. Minco Bulldogs on the day, they've had 3 other possessions. Started at the Cashion 40, the Cashion 25, the Cashion 25, and this one at the Cashion 32. They've got 22 points and maybe adding to that, but they may have less than almost 100 yards of total offense. So Wildcats will have to bow up. Let's see if we can get a turnover here, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that was a good tackle there at the end. They didn't let him get in the end zone. Give yourself a chance to make something happen. And the Cashion Wildcat defense has got to make a play, got to do something to stop this. I know they've been backed up the whole game, but, if you're backed up, let's make a play, give the ball back to your offense, and let something good happen.
McMurtry off his back foot, little swing pass, and the catch is made by number 7, Jace Bratcher, the sophomore, for the touchdown. He's going to be lifted in the air and celebrating as that moves it to 28-0. Good pass there by McMurtry, again showing his senior status coming across. Coverage was late coming up from the safety spot. And so with that, looks like the Bulldogs will be going for 2 again. Number 3, Ashton Taylor is checked in kind of as a tight end blocker. This is most likely a handoff to Jake Caruth. Let's see if maybe they run something funky off of this. Wildcats trying to stop the bleeding here a little bit. Pistol formation here for the Minco Bulldogs. Again, it's Caruth in the backfield with McMurtry.
With Ben Birchfield up on that receiver up top, see if they don't try to run they're running right up the middle.
And Caleb Durain on the initial hit. And just give credit to Caruth as he just kept driving his feet. And so with 11:50, 30-0, Minco takes the lead. So if you are a kid playing, you came out, you worked hard at practice this week, you're already down 30-0 at the start of the second quarter. You know, what do you tell yourself? You know, what do the coaches tell these kids?
You tell yourself, I'm going to go out there and make a play. I want to make something good happen on the football field where I know, and I'm going to give everything I've got. I'm going to give the thing that you can control. I can't control that they've got a bunch of seniors, we got a bunch of freshmen or sophomores. But what I can control is I can get out there and make a play and stay enthusiastic. I know it's hard. When it's 30-0, it's hard to stay enthusiastic, but that's something you can control. Stay enthusiastic, get out there, try to make a big play, and get your team picked up off the mat.
All right, so with that, the Bulldogs will be kicking off from the 40. If you're Coach Shack, do you keep going for it on 4th down, or do you try it?
Well,
to maybe
if you just don't, I don't know if it's just because you don't have a proven punter. I mean, you had Waltman get out there and punt early on, and he did a pretty good job. But maybe they saw Riker doing, in practice, he's really proven that he can do it. And then you start thinking, I don't know if we've got a punter that can really hit the ball. So you might as well go for it on 4th down instead of just giving it to them back on their own side of the football field.
Davis gets the kickoff, bobbles that one around the 10, gets back up close to the 20. So for the Wildcats, 5th possession already of the game. They started their first one from the 26, their own 20, their own 20, their own 21, their own 20. At some point, they've got to start to convert on 1st downs and flip the field position a little bit. Again, 40, 25, I'll just do the math for you right now. That's 90, that's 122 yards of offense for Minco, leading to 30 points. So Wildcat offense is going to have to help the defense out a little bit here. Jones to the right of Ethan Waswo, 2-by-2 here for the Wildcats. And we're going to have a stoppage where they're going to say, band, you need to not play. So referee in the white hat says, hey, Minco, we appreciate it.
I just wonder what they did to warrant that. I'm not sure.
All right, so 1st and 10 in motion. Jones out to the left. Little swing pass from Waswo in and out of his hands. Jones does catch it, and it's hit pretty hard as he's kind of hung out to dry. Give credit to the linebacker, and we talked about him. It was Jake Caruth coming in and grabbing the ankles of Timmy Jones. That's a loss of 1 on the reception. Wildcats going to the flats, maybe looking to go upfield again here, maybe trying to suck up the linebackers or DBs.
Yeah, kind of run a play to fake that, throw, and hit somebody streaking down the field.
We'll see.
For a big play.
2nd and 11, 11-10 on the clock from the 19 now here. Wildcats losing 1 on that reception to Jones. Timmy to the right of Ethan Waswo. Again, that same 2-by-2 formation for Waswo. Back to pass. He's going to come back out. And that one to the flats to the right. And Waswo definitely felt the pressure, throws that one down. I'm not sure if Jones had a chance at that one, but that one will be incomplete. We'll bring up 3rd down and 11.
I want to see us get back to running those route combinations and letting Ethan just, take that 2-step drop and then deliver a strike. That's where in that first possession of the ball game, and when we did pick up a 1st down, that's how we did it, was using those routes, route combinations where a kid gets open about, right there at that 1st down marker, and then it lets Ethan step into a throw and make a good pass, good catch, a little bit at a time. Let's not throw it backwards right now. Where we're at is, we just don't have the kids out there. Where in the past we've had kids out there on the edge that can really block and spring those big plays out there on the edge on those, passes that are behind the line of scrimmage. We don't have that kid that can really get out there and block Nick Nabavi style. And so I think we need to really try to throw the ball down the field and find those kids open down the field.
Back to pass. Waspo looking for that comeback to Higdon with the catch just like that, partner. You called it right at the 30, and that should be enough for a first down.
Yeah, I think those kids, we have skilled enough receivers to run good routes. And when you have an offensive mind like Shaq that can put route combinations together, put those route combinations together, let Ethan use his arm and throw the football down the field instead of behind the line of scrimmage. There's situations where those passes are great when you've got the kids to run that offense. Right now, I think we have the kids that can really be successful running route combinations down the field and letting Ethan throw the ball down the field.
Two-back set, hand off to Jones. He's got a small lane, bullies forward. Kid's a tough runner, falls forward to looks like the 35-yard line. So nice run there by Timmy Jones. And these are the things that need to happen. Positive plays. Positive plays. I'll take a 3-yard run right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On first down, that's a good play right there to keep them, honest with the run game. Now let's do another route combination, find something down the field, pick up another first down.
2nd and 7 from the 35. Waspo again, double back set to Higdon by himself here. Pressure from the right side. Come back, swing pass to Westerhoff, and he's going to get hit immediately. And that'll be a loss of 1. Westerhoff knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And give credit to number 2. Again, that's Ben Birchfield, who has a touchdown on the day coming through. Actually, that may have been number 12. I apologize.
In that situation, it's almost better for Drew just to knock that ball down. But you still got to catch the ball, try to make a kid miss. And even though he was flying at you like that, he did a good job of catching the ball and not fumbling it, or letting him jump in front of the ball and go for pick 6.
Running clock, 9:23 back to pass. Waspo pressure's on. He's going to the out and up. Higdon gets grabs. No call as his and we've talked about Higdon in the past, and I probably in this situation, especially when it's 30-0, would have thrown the flag as his route was altered by number 2, Ben Birchfield. But just as we go through, Max has just got to run tough through that. He's got to run and break hard out of those route combinations.
Yeah, and I don't know if the official didn't see it or not. I don't know if you could see it on where the camera was, but yeah, he did a little out and up, a double move, and on his move up and out, he was definitely held there.
Duran actually has the catch, gets to the 40, breaks forward, fumbles the ball. We do have a flag on the play, so it will be where the referee, and this is a makeup call by the official, he missed the contact earlier, does get this here as Ben Birchfield was basically tackling Max Higdon down the line of scrimmage. Give credit to Duran on a nice catch, great call play. That's the best, screenplay we've had all season. And so Duran will come off, but let's see what we have here. We have holding, and that's a correct call as Birchfield says he's pushing off.
Birchfield says he's pushing. You can't ride the receiver out. You can't make that contact, and that's what the official's trying to tell him. And he's trying to make his case like I can push him out of bounds. No, you can't.
Not after 5 yards.
Not after 5 yards, you can't. And right there, you saw Durant, and you said it on the screen. I think right there. Let's see if that doesn't help with the timing and just finally having success on one of those plays and seeing that felt good. Let's see if we can have that happen again. But I still want to keep seeing the Cashion Wildcats throw the football down the field.
All right, so big pickup on the first down and the mark-off on the holding call. I think Coach Wardlaw is correct. I think they're just going to figure out was it a fumble or not? Because if it was a fumble, it'll be.
No, they called him down because I thought it was a fumble because it looked to me like it was a fumble. But I saw him running in saying he was down.
Okay.
So the call on the field was he was down. What I was wondering, though, is that a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage on a hold, like a defensive back holding?
Right.
That's 15.
Yeah,
that's
it is
not
from the line of
added
scrimmage.
to the end
That's
of the
right.
play.
That's
so
correct.
You just decline that penalty
that's exactly right.
or
That's
accept
exactly
the penalty.
That's
so you want to decline that in that case because I think we picked up.
We did pick up the
yards.
first down. Yeah.
We picked up the first down.
So correct call there, and Coach Wardlaw is correct. So Wildcats will decline as Chris mentioned. So you guys listen, you'll learn. Listen to my man Chris Gibson. So with the reception by Caleb Duran on the screenplay, the ball goes out to the Cashion 45. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. Clock run here, 9:06 on the clock. Jones in the backfield with Waswo. Waswo coming across, finds Westerhoff on the hitch at the 45, and the Wildcats another first down, this time in Minco territory.
That's what I keep telling you, that we have the receivers, we have the athletes to really get open. We've got some really quick, fast receivers. Let those kids really use their skill set to get open down the field, and then let Ethan deliver strikes quickly before that rush of the Minco Bulldogs gets to him.
So good job there, Waswo, reading the coverage there, finding the soft spot is Drew Westerhoff. He gets his third reception of the game, 1st and 10 from the 44, 8:40 on the clock. Jones here, single back set next to Waswo in motion, Grayson Davis. Waswo back to pass, looking back to the short side to left. He's going to go deep. He's got Higdon. Jump ball in and out of the hands of number 33. And that was Carson Littlejohn, the junior. And the Wildcats fortunate there that there was not an interception.
Yeah, and they're calling a hold, but they're discussing it, so I'm not sure if it's on the
defense. Let's pray.
I mean, it was the line judge over there that called it. So
okay, yeah.
Down the field, but I mean, we didn't have a receiver on that side of the field, so that's what's making me think it's something on this side.
Maybe offsides,
maybe? That far side. He kind of showed a hold.
Okay. Holding.
Yeah.
Cashion. Okay. That's unfortunate. Wildcats one step forward, 127 steps back, or in this case 10. So it looks like it will be run the line of scrimmage.
30 steps back, right? How many feet are in a yard?
That's right. Yeah. Well, my steps are a yard long. I don't know how I don't get stepping off baby steps.
I guess that was a foot. Not 30
Come
feet,
on, brother. Come on, brother. All right. We'll get you straight. So Wildcats back in Cashion territory from their own 46. It's 1st and 20 with a mark off. Kellen Smith will come in. It looks like Caleb Duran will check off. Wildcats go 2-by-2 with Jones in the backfield. Coach Shack calling the play here. No headset for Coach Shack. He's going old school. Waswo back to pass. Across the middle. Higdon. Little jump ball. Higdon's got to go make a play on that.
Yep.
He can't sit and watch.
Yeah, he kind of turned to see where that defender was. Don't worry about the defender. You look at you find that ball, and then you do everything you can. You dive. You whatever
break it up
takes,
even if you have to.
Go get that ball, because the thing is, if you dive for that football and the defensive back hits you, they're going to call a penalty. So don't look and see where that defensive back is and let that dictate what you're going to do. You look where the ball is, and then that's how you react and where you go with all of your effort.
2nd and 20, little out route. It's going to go across and way over. Higdon, great route on that particular case, comes back to the 40 on that dig. And a little bit over his head. Little spot there. It was a tight window in between the cornerback and the safety. It was a decision for Waswo. He could have gone to Westerhoff. I think it was the right choice to go to Higdon.
No, I agree. It was the right choice. And I had my phone up here. It's a little bit delayed, and I looked down and watched it. He was getting, taken out down low in his waist area by the defender. So I'm surprised it was even a throw that went that far, the way he was getting hit. But that was what kind of threw that pass off, but I think you're right. I think that was the right decision, right person to throw to.
3rd and 20, empty set. Waswo rolling to his right, coming back to Kellen Smith, and that one's going to be almost picked off in and out of the hands of number 33. We've mentioned him before. That's Cashton Johnson. I apologize, Carson Littlejohn. Could have had 2 interceptions in the same series. He goes ahead and checks out, and that'll bring up 4th down and long. And
maybe that's why he's a defensive back instead of receiver. I don't know. That's an
ongoing joke. Absolutely. Absolutely. Looks like the Wildcats will go for it. So what started on their own 20, Wildcats got it into Minco territory, have gone backwards on the holding call. A couple of errant passes and a drop. Waswo, pressure, steps up. He's got a chance to run. Will decide to go ahead and run. Cuts back through. Oh, that should be targeting. As 25, Caruth comes in at the head. Defenseless player, horrific missed call by the line judge.
How's he? And they're discussing something, but the flag didn't come out. The flag.
He should have thrown it, and they could have talked about it. That's horrible. So as Waswo is being dragged down on a tackle, Caruth on a cheap shot throws his shoulder into the defenseless Waswo's helmet. No call.
Yeah, and they discussed something, but apparently it wasn't that important.
I hope the officials watch this game as they've been done in the past, and that line judge can learn what a targeting call is. So with that, it's a turnover of down. So with 8 minutes, Minco with the ball from the 46, their worst field position of the day. Handoff, big hit. Give credit to, was that a shooting, that's number 7. Was that number 7? It was. Yep. Carlos Martinez checking in at linebacker. So the freshman interjecting a little energy to this defense.
Yeah, I like that. He come flying through there, was able to hit him in the backfield and bring him down for a short game for the Bulldogs.
So horrific missed targeting call by the officials, and their job is to keep safety here on the field. Clearly missed that. First down, actually second down and 9. Back to pass is McMurtry. Pressure coming in, pass across the middle intended. We'll actually have 2 holding calls as the umpires and the referees have been making the calls all day. It's coming back. Give credit to number 18? I think Landon McMahon, the sophomore, in the catch, and that one will be coming back.
Yeah, McMurtry did a good job of sitting back there and delivering the pass down the field, but the reason he had time to do that is because the Cashion Wildcat front that was bringing pressure was tackled in the backfield.
All right, so again, the umpire and the referee, if you've noticed here in 2023.
So did they do that just for the safety of the official?
I think part of that, but also.
In the past, they were right along.
Not just the official, but in terms of live play. But I think it gives the opportunity for guys to really call the holds a lot better, having that perspective in the backfield like that. So 2nd and 20 from the 37 in motion, coming across jet sweep. McMurtry back to pass, looking for the screen. It's coming over. The catch is made. Martinez in the area, missed tackle. Breaking tackles. Wildcats, a bunch of hand grabbing and nothing there. And so give credit to number 14, Noah Johnson, another senior here for Coach Wardlaw. And that'll be a big first down for the Minco Bulldogs in the Cashion territory.
Good job by Carlos there to sniff it out, know that and recognize the play there, but you got to make the right angle, take the right angle to make the tackle. And when you're there to make that tackle and keep a big play from happening, you got to have it. That's another one of those mistakes. I mean, give credit to the Minco Bulldog for making him miss. But Carlos has got to be in there to make that big play. Great job right there.
Austin Compton.
Austin Compton.
Yeah, I love that. Broke that up.
Backfield.
Absolutely. That was number 18. And Landon McMahon, a sophomore on the jet sweep. And there was a couple of Cashion defenders, but it was Austin Compton coming off the edge from that safety spot.
Yeah, and you have Caden Seeley back there at a linebacker position too, just right up there on that front line, just got through there, did a good job of bringing him down too.
Absolutely. We got Matthew Stockton at nose tackle, Tommy Branson at that left DN spot. It's pistol formation here for McMurtry. It's going to be handoff inside. Good job by their offensive line of Minco as number 9, Sebastian Valdez, just basically following his blockers, falling down. And that'll bring up, looks like about 3rd down and manageable here in Cashion territory.
3rd and 6.
3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, yeah. So same deep pistol formation look here. Valdez in the backfield. He'll get another handoff. He'll cut back through. He's hit at the line. Timmy Jones will make the tackle right around the 29, 28-yard line. That'll bring up 4th and short. Most likely 4th down territory. It's going to be a no-brainer here as the Bulldogs will go for it. Sebastian Valdez, good-looking kid, big size in the backfield. Wildcats trying to hold here.
Sophomore, he's going to be a kid that's going to be
He'll
really
be counted on next year because they're losing everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, if the Bulldogs don't make a run this year, I'm not sure when it will be. 4th and 2, clock running 5:31. Back to pass on the swing pass, broken on it. Kellen Smith had a pick 6. Great job by the freshman. On that break, intended receiver was number 18, Landon McMahon. And his eyes were the size of silver dollars coming after that one.
Yeah, that time you could see it. He did a great job of reading that quarterback and making a better break on the ball than the receiver did. He just couldn't bring it in because if he would have, that would have been nothing but green grass.
Kid's got great speed. He would have been gone. So the Wildcats, after Minco getting their worst field position, which was midfield, right? Turnover of downs. Yep. Yes. Turnover of downs. Hold them. It'll be Wildcat football from the 29. their best field position of the day. Hand off to Jones. He puts his pads down low, gets a couple. That's a great first down play here for the Wildcats tonight.
Yeah, just letting Timmy just bang out about 2 or 3 yards on that first down, getting them a little bit of success, and then setting them up for their, a second down play where you can either run that again, pick up and get a 3rd and 5, or something manageable, or throw the ball down the field to pick up a first down. And like I said, I just keep saying it. I love our receivers and the way that they're making breaks and running their routes. Let them get out there, let them get open, and let Ethan deliver a strike.
2nd and 8, double back set, back to pass. Waswell looking to his right. It's going to be flushed out, coming across the middle, and that should be pass interference, but it's caught by Westerhoff anyways. And they're going to say no catch.
No, it's a
good catch. So Westerhoff. No,
why are they giving him the spot? What is going on here?
I don't know. This official crew, they've lost it.
He caught the ball. If he didn't catch the ball, it was because
they're going to fix it. So give him credit.
No, he caught the ball. They're a yard off from where he caught the ball. Yeah,
that's unfortunate. The line judge, the head linesman, the linesman having trouble today here. So fortunately, the umpire comes in, gets that one rectified. 3rd and 2, hand off to Caleb Duran. He'll push forward, and that'll be enough for a first down. So Duran with a big, hard run. Wildcats with another first down.
Yeah, just got behind Seeley on that right side and just let him push the Wildcats over for the first down.
So that one is spot. Clock running, 4 minutes on the clock. It should be running, I guess. Yeah, it is running now. So there it goes as the white cap scores that. Duran will come off the field to get a well-deserved break.
Yeah, Duran kind of tweaked an ankle or something there on that run. Good hard run by Duran.
He'll be all right. He'll get that worked out. Trips down below. Max Higdon by himself up top. Jones to the right of Waswo. Wildcats will take a look here. 1st and 10, 3:40 on the clock. Play clock at 9. Waswell working this down, a little time management. Back to pass, looking for the shallow cross, and it's a nice catch there by the freshman, Grayson Davis.
Yeah, you have 2 freshmen and a sophomore over here running a great route combination, and one of them got open. Ethan steps into the pass. Good throw, good catch on first down to pick up good yardage.
All right, so with that, it's a big pickup of 7 yards. Give credit to our guy, Grayson Davis. Is that his first catch of the day?
I think so.
Okay.
I think he had one earlier that he dropped, remember?
That's right.
But then he
came back. That's his second. It's his second catch.
Because he had the one in the backfield.
That's right. 2nd and 3. Wildcats hand off to Jones. He'll turn forward. That's a big first down. So the Wildcats moving. And this one into Minco territory. So the Wildcats down 30-0, finding some spots here. And it's not like Coach Wardlaw has given up, right? So it's a situation. Give credit to the Cashion Wildcat offense, creating some opportunities for themselves.
They're stacking positive plays on top of each other and not making those mistakes that we've seen in the first quarter.
2 by 2, Jones to the left of Waswo. He'll go ahead and fake. Waswo coming back to Westerhoff. And that one was off. So we had a nice route there. Westerhoff was open, deep safety, trying to come over. It comes out of his hands, thankfully, to the ground. So that'll be incompletion. Stops the clock, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that time Westerhoff ran a great route, was open. Ethan kind of rushed it a little bit, I felt like he just kind of rushed that, and I think he sees that too, where if he'd have just taken his time, taken that 2-step drop, stick to the fundamentals and deliver a strike, it would have been a completion. But I think Ethan will learn from that and know, hey, don't rush it. Go through your steps, stick to the fundamentals, and good things happen.
Blitz is on. Nice pickup. Waswo dumped down. Perfect call. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't know if Jones is not supposed, if he's supposed to continue his route.
And I don't know if that, like you said, he's so close to that line, it's hard for Ethan to really find him and get him to the ball. Leak out there. Get out there. Let him throw the ball because there was nobody in front of you. Yep. And if you stick around right there by those linemen, it's hard for Ethan to find you, especially when they start to get in his face. Get open and say, hey, put your hand up. Say, I'm right here, Ethan.
Yep.
Throw me the ball.
3rd and 10 on the incompletion, 2:30 on the clock. It stops. Waswo in shotgun again. Back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, trying to break free and throws it. He does not get it across the line of scrimmage. They're going to say no cat. And I'm not sure that should be intentional grounding, but we'll see what happens here.
They'll call the intentional grounding on it because it did not go past the line of scrimmage, and that's I think they're going to get together, talk about it.
Yeah.
Probably drop the flag. It'll be 4th and probably, 15, 14?
Yep. So that's a correct call by the officials, and that time the line judge does make the correct call. And so that one will be a loss of down. So what was 3rd and long now will be 4th and long and double sticks. Wildcats with, 2:24 on the clock. I guess they're going to go ahead and go for it.
Well, is there a 5-yard penalty on top of that?
It's, I believe, I'm not sure what this
mark
mark. There's a penalty, but I guess in high school it's 10 yards.
From the spot of the foul?
From the spot of the foul, correct.
Wow. I thought it was just a spot where you throw the ball from. That's where you're down, and it's lost down.
It's right here. It was 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so that's why Wildcats have it at the 42. So in motion is Davis. Wildcats going to flood this field side. Out to his right, looking for somebody. Westerhoff in double coverage. He's bracketed. Nice attempt there by Waswell. I thought maybe he might have a chance to make a run, but I'm not sure if he would have been able to get the first down. And so
that's a long way, and maybe make a kid miss, but he threw it out there, trying to give Westerhoff a chance. And that's one of those where you give them a chance, and if they intercept, it's almost as good as a punt. But here we go, defense. You stopped them last time. They again are. Even though they're on their side, the Cashion Wildcat side of the 50, this is almost. Is this the second worst field position of the night?
Yeah, it's their second worst of the night, and they're on the 42 of Cashion. So give credit to their defense. 2:17 back to pass McMurtry. He's going to go deep. He's looking for his guy down the sideline. Wow, Coach Wardlaw going for blood. And so Max Higdon in the neighborhood, intended receiver, was number 2, Ben Birchfield, the senior, and I'll tell you what, that wasn't one of McMurtry's better throws.
No, man, had a Birchfield, which is one of his best receivers, and probably they probably worked a lot over the summer on passes, and that time he was running wide open down the sideline and just let him out there a little too far for Birchfield to get to it.
All right, 2nd and 10, 2:12. Clock stops at that incompletion. A little curl pass coming back, and that's going to be incomplete. So give credit to number 13. That's Riker Johnson.
Yeah, good job by Riker there to see
freshman.
that happening.
Yep, he did. I give him credit. You're exactly right. He was in the neighborhood. In fact, he was trying to bait him to catch it so he could get a loss on that one, but that one falls incomplete. So freshman Riker Johnson checking in at corner. We saw Carlos Martinez coming in. Obviously, we have Kellen Smith and Grayson Davis as freshmen that have come in. Wildcats show a little bit of pressure here. Looks like if Jones and Duran are coming up the A-gap. Let's see what happens here as Coach Wardlaw will try to change the play. 7 seconds on the play clock. Let's see if Wildcats it is Duran. Loose ball. Carlos Martinez was in the neighborhood, and give credit to Birchfield, who's able to catch that one, elude the rush of Martinez, and just throw it out of bounds. And that'll bring up 4th down and 10.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the coaching staff is.
I think there was they felt like either
somebody was held.
Yeah, I felt like that was the case as Duran came through. I saw him kind of pull up as if he was tackled.
He's got his flag out of his pocket. I don't know if he's going to call
and
it.
Maybe a legal man downfield, I think, might be the call here. And that's a 3 to 5 yard rule here. Let's see if.
But at this point, it'd be better if it looks like they're lining up to punt. So even if it was a flag for that. Oh, now he's going to.
Yeah, decline. So it'll be 4th down. So as you said, Chris, right move. Yeah, it was a legal man downfield. Those offensive linemen, and that's most likely that call was probably a screen. That's right. I'm sorry.
Behind them.
Yep. So that took too much time. Those guys were hung out to drive. So Wildcats defense forced a punt. It'll be McMurtry. That's going to be a high hanger. That's going to hit right around the 15, and it'll be somewhat of a Cashion bounce as it kind of hangs tight. So give credit to the Wildcats. Back-to-back possessions, turnover of downs from the Minco 46 and then from the Cashion 42, another punt. And this isn't because Wardlaw has taken the foot off the gas. So give the Wildcat defense a little bit credit here. They gave up 4 straight possessions of touchdowns, find themselves down 30-0, and on the flip side, the offense has started to show a little bit of life.
A little bit of life, being able to move the ball, actually got it across the 50 and kind of went backwards after that. But stack those good plays on top of each other, stack those plays without mistakes on top of each other, and move the football down the field.
1st and 10, Waswo in shotgun, and we'll have a timeout. We'll take a timeout. Be right back. Cashion Wildcats TV. All right, welcome back. Second quarter action here. Cashion Wildcat TV production of Cashion Wildcat Football. Name it Bobby Chris Gibson bringing you today's action as the Wildcats host the Minco Bulldogs. 1:50 on the clock, second quarter. Wildcats second straight defensive hold of the or stop of the Minco Bulldogs. Wildcats do find themselves down 4 scores, 30-0. With the ball then at 1st and 10 from their own 16. After a nice punt there by senior Reed McMurtry, it'll be Ethan Waswo in shotgun, empty set, little give and go. Turns around, doesn't have a guy. He's got Max Higdon covered up. He's going to try to drop it in. Gets hit after the throw, no penalty. And Ethan Waswo is getting beat up. And in fact, I'm still upset on that cheap shot by senior Jake Caruth, as Waswo was actually still down, was going down, and Caruth take a cheap shot with his shoulder right to the head. Yeah. It's not needed. Up 30-0 at the time.
That time, Cashion just trying to figure something out to try to get something down the field, take a shot right before halftime.
Swing pass out to Westerhoff, and that one looks like it might have gotten tipped, or Waswo may have gotten his hand hit. Good pressure again. Give credit to the Minco Bulldogs defensive front. I would say even just their front 6. They've provided a lot of pressure. Wildcats have tried to handle it with 11 and 12 personnel. They've at least have one tight end, if not 2, between Duran and Timmy Jones in there. Right now we do have a 2 tight end set as Ethan Waswo is by himself. 3 wide receivers, Westerhoff, Fields, and Higdon. In motion is Westerhoff behind. He'll go out right side. He'll stay in the running back position. He'll go in, not take the handoff. Waswo, a little late on the exchange. We'll go ahead and keep it. He'll work forward. He'll get a few yards. And Coach Wardlaw will call timeout with 1:27 with 4th down, and most likely will make the Wildcats have to punt.
Yeah, right here. I would think Coach Shackelford would try to punt, back them up with only a minute 27 seconds left. Give your defense a little bit of room to to get that stop and let that clock either run out or turn over on downs.
See what happens here. Again, appreciate you guys joining us here on Cashion Wildcats TV. At halftime, we hope to have Lessons with Lane, as Lesson will come in and have a conversation with our man Chris Gibson. Kind of talk about, hopefully the stats come through. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
See what happens this game.
We'll see what happens this game. But again, we appreciate you guys joining us. Again, it's going to be a fantastic year. We've just started. Softball and cross country are kind of winding down. We've got cheer heading to state this tomorrow in Tulsa. We've got football. We'll have basketball season starting up officially here at the 1st of October as Coach Hardaway and the bunch on the boys' side. And do we have? Yes, we do have. I apologize. So we do have Riker Johnson out there punting.
See if he can get one, get a foot into one.
Absolutely.
We've seen a lot of every time that Riker's gotten back there to punt, it's kind of gone off. Gone off his ankle almost. Let's see if he can get a good boot into one and see why he's back there punting.
Good snap. It's going to be end over end. Not a good punt. Let's see if he gets a roll. He does, and that will go out of bounds. Right now, that's probably one of Riker's best punts of his few. It's not me banging on a freshman here on the punt situation. That's a lot of pressure. Great snap. I did want to make sure I had a little brain fart there in terms of a pause there, calling out Coach Andrea Taylor and the girls. They both groups look to have a good run on the basketball. So with the punt, we do have a Waltman sighting. Good to see that, as our man Benson Waltman has been kind of hammered or hankered down with that cast on his left hand. It's good to see him coming out, playing a little defense for the Wildcats, coming in for Tommy. Actually, it looks like maybe Matthew Stockton at that middle side. D-tackle is, it looks like Caden Seeley will roll out to that defensive end. So from the 45 on the Cashion side, 120. Back to pass. McMurtry's rolling out in pressure. Tim Jones will have another holding call. That one will come back. The Wildcats will most likely take it as number 11. Looks like Clayton Hughes, the senior, another one of the 16 seniors here for Coach Wardlaw, makes the catch. But I tell you what, our umpires and our official and our head referee today have been on it today, have they not?
They've been on those holds, that time. I think Benson Watman just coming in the first play there, I think he got through there and got held. And so he makes a difference when he gets in the ball game. I love watching him come in. I hate that he is kind of, like you said, pinned down with that bad hand. Hopefully he can get healthy as the year goes on.
Yeah, one of only 2 senior starters here for the Cashion Wildcats. So with the mark-off now back in Cashion territory, 1st and 20, McMurtry back to pass. He's getting pressured by Seeley. Travis Loveholsel, great pressure, showing that speed off the defensive end side. And McMurtry, did he get it across the line of scrimmage?
That one didn't go past the line of scrimmage.
It did not go past the line of scrimmage. It should be a...
But they didn't even look at it there. Well, they're maybe talking about it.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be it should be... Are they going to call it or no? They're not. That's unfortunate. It didn't even make the down and distance box stick.
No, and that's where it's got to get to.
Yep.
And if it didn't get there, that should be intentional grounding, just like what happened with Ethan earlier.
Nonetheless, no call. 2nd and 20.
Even if you're outside that tackle box, it still has to go back past that.
That's exactly right. Handoff inside. Big hole. McCaruth still on his feet, still running. Carlos Martinez in pursuit. And he's going to fall down right around the 2-yard line.
Good effort there by the Cashion Wildcats to not just give up after he kind of got out there where he had nothing but green grass in front of him. Good job by the boys to not give up, show that effort.
Yeah, I'm going to give that credit to the offensive line of Minco, as Caruth had a wide open lane. Really not a whole lot of, I wouldn't consider a speedster at all, but certainly a tough run there by Caruth. He gets it down. Carlos Martinez on the tackle, and we'll have a timeout by Coach Shack and Coach Wood. So they'll go ahead and talk to their defense. I love seeing that. Leave it at the 2-yard line. So with this, I'd like to see maybe if the Wildcats can bow up a little bit here, maybe create a turnover, maybe strip sack. They've gotten some good pressure on McMurtry. I've got, if it were me, Chris, I'd be selling out to stop the run on this particular play and give up the pass play. I really would.
Yeah, just get in there, because they're going to just try to bowl us over and get in the end zone for a touchdown. Yeah, put those defensive backs out there on an island and say, do what you can, stop the ball. We're not going to let them run the ball into the end zone. We're going to stop that run and see what happens. And if they do try to run it, let's hold them up. Do everything you can to strip the ball out. Try to get the ball back in the hands of the Cashion Wildcats. We've
talked about this. Most the teams that the Wildcats in our 3 losses and leading into this game today, most of the damage by the opposing team has been in the first quarter, and you got to give credit to the Cashion Wildcats. They've actually done well in quarter number 2 and quarter number 3 in those 3 previous losses, and that's the case here for today. I mean, honestly, you've only allowed 1 touchdown thus far here in the second quarter after falling down 22-0. Fullback backfield, and they brought in number 72. Gavin Goodman, a senior, for the touchdown. He'll get a lot of celebration there. Good for him, the senior, as he gets the carry. That's an injury or insult to injury here, as they will go for 2. So touchdown is good. The 2-yard run there by the lineman, dream come true for him. And so the Wildcats will stare at a 36-0 deficit here in the first half. Under center's McMurtry going for 2. They're going to hand it off to another lineman, number 53. Good for him. That's great. Zach Willman, another senior, gets the 2-point conversion. And
he still isn't as good as the catch by.
Please stop it. The Collier.
Collier.
That was athleticism. That wasn't up 36-0 from a 2-yard line.
Yeah.
That was a kid catching the ball in open space.
Make
some misses. He has to catch it.
That's right.
Get in position, catch it, and then rumble for about 50 yards. So now I get it. You gotta. This is 16 seniors on this Minco team. I don't think they're good enough, and this is not sour grapes. I don't think they're talented enough to make a deep run. But if you're a senior, this is what high school football is about. I know the Cashion Wildcats have been on that side for sure, even though they were able to go to 3 straight state championship games, win 2 of them. This is what high school sports is all about, right? Making memories. And there's only one team that gets to hoist a gold ball at the end of the season. So during the core of that process, that journey, it's fun to enjoy it while you got it.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's the thing is, they're kind of wanting to pile on just because we have handed Minco a lot of losses over the last
with some of their
years.
best teams
with
ever.
Some of their best teams ever.
Yep.
And so at this point, they've got another good team full of seniors. We're down a little bit this year. Every team there's going to try to take a shot at the Cashion Wildcats when they get a chance because they know it won't last long, and they better get a shot in now because once these boys get rolling, it's going to be fun to watch. A little bit of redemption, and these boys are going to have a chip on their shoulder for that.
Absolutely. I mean, again, if Coach Wardlaw and the Bulldogs again don't do it this year, I'm not sure when. 16 seniors, you're looking at almost every specialist that they have as a senior, and guys touching the ball. Their entire offensive line, 4 seniors and 1 junior, right? So the idea is that. You better get it done, and so again, it's here in Class A. You don't have 120 kids on the team, so you got to hope that Jimmy and Johnny and Susie and Ben.
Last time the Cashion Wildcats had 16 seniors, I think they went to the state championship.
They did pretty good. Yeah, they did pretty. Actually, it was 14. Hand off to Jones. Face mask, no call. I saw it from up here. Oh, they're going to call the second face mask. That's okay. So give credit to Timmy Jones battling through 2 face masks, and big shout out to Grandma up in Michigan and the Jones family. Both sides, Grandma and Grandpa. This is an easy call. We saw it up here. And do you know why it's easy, partner? Because when your running back's head gets turned to the side, it's a face mask.
Was that last night in the game last night where it was? You see that head turn. Anytime you see that head turn, that's going to be a face mask penalty, and that's what happened there to Timmy Jones, and got a good run on top of the penalty.
So with that, Wildcats get a first down right around the 37-yard line. Ethan Waswo in shotgun.
There's 34 seconds left. Let's try to throw it out to the sideline. They're backing up that far. Throw it to the sideline, pick up 10 yards, step out of bounds, and keep doing it all the way down the field.
Another tackle there by Ashton Taylor.
We're just going to run the ball and get to the half, though, I guess.
Yeah, big defensive end, Ashton Taylor, a big senior, big part of this defense. And again, another senior, Jake Caruth, that middle linebacker in with the tackle. And with that, with 10 seconds on the clock, we'll march it off as the Wildcats will head to halftime down 38-0. We appreciate you guys joining us here on Cashion Wildcats TV. We'll have a quick break, and we'll come back with Lessons with Lane. And
I think we're going to have the band.
That's
and the
right.
cheerleaders.
We'll have the band. So that's right. We never leave it. I always do this, and you got to coach me up, Chris. So we'll have the cheerleaders on here. We'll leave it here. We'll turn that camera mic up as they prepare for a state championship, a state title, competitive cheer tomorrow, Tulsa Union.
Colson.
Whoa, is he deaf or something?
Yeah, is he good? He's pretty good. I like to stay on the upper
Cashion fans, please welcome onto the field your Cashion High School cheerleaders. These ladies are coached by Amber Hopgood and Casey Williams. These ladies made school history last Saturday by not only walking away as regional champions, but they had the highest score of any Class B through 2A regional champions. Their competitive state competition will be tomorrow, September 23rd at Tulsa Union High School. Please get to Tulsa tomorrow to support these ladies as they will be competing for a state championship. They're here this evening to perform a portion of that routine. Good luck, ladies. Take state.
Founded by Jesse and Amy McCracken, Rural Pest Solutions is a Cashion-based, family-owned and operated company. Our focus is on providing the highest level of customer service while effectively treating many common invaders, including spiders, ants, roaches, mice, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, and termites. Flexible scheduling and superior customer service are our top priority. Call us today to schedule your appointment. 405-283-6565.
Looking for a solution to your water well problem or just needing a new well drilled? Western Drilling does water well drilling and repair. They are experts in pumping system installation, troubleshooting, and repair. Western Drilling works with domestic, ag, and irrigation wells. Give them a call today and explore all the solutions. Western Drilling supports Cashion High School. Go Wildcats!
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Kyle and Gina Van Druff have the answers to all your real estate and insurance needs. These guys will have you covered in a one-stop shopping experience. They are local agents, local supporters, and active in the Cashion community. They are also proud parents of past and present Cashion students. Kyle and Gina help their clients make the right choice. Don't wait till it's too late. Call 405-607-4300. Go Wildcats and number 88. Let's have a great year.
Walk it up. Get you some.
Cashion FBC is a church seeking to grow in Christ and our love for the body of Christ. With ministries from children to youth to adults, we strive to present the gospel in an engaging and meaningful way. Sunday school meets at 9:45 a.m. and worship starts at 11 a.m. Children and youth meet on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. please check our website at cashionfbc.org for more information. We hope to see you this Sunday, located a half-mile east of Cashion.
They will be performing the first movement of their upcoming marching show. They will also be performing Shout It Out Loud, originally performed by the rock band Kiss.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at Squirtle.com/stream.
All right, welcome back in after a great halftime performance by the cheerleaders and the band. Hey, marching band, that's what I'm talking about.
They sounded tremendous, didn't they?
Yeah, we've had some great bands in the past get out there and sound great, but they did some movement. We haven't seen that at this level in a while, and so it's exciting times for the band, and there's a lot of kids out for it.
Dagan Lloyd broke his leg in half about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He's playing the drums.
Yeah,
got a
out there
cheerleader out there playing the trumpet. It's pretty cool. And then our cheerleaders just dominated.
Yes.
They dominated last weekend. They go to the state. Is it this weekend?
I think Saturday is what they said. So, big things happening for the band and the cheerleaders, that's for sure. Lane, 38-0, not in favor of the Cashion Wildcats. Is this one of the better Minco teams you think we've seen?
I think it's the best Minco team they've had, and they've been good for quite a while. You know, their coach is Wardlaw. He was at O'Keene. His dad was a longtime coach at O'Keene, and so they're a well-coached team. And that 53, he weighs 350, and can run.
Big boy, yeah.
And can run, and he pile drived Ethan Waswo like the first quarter.
Yeah. Yep.
And it looked like it hurt him there for a little while, but he kind of come back. Grayson Davis looks good. I mean, Grayson Davis he kind of figured it out a little bit, and that's when you see these kids excel. Their freshman year, they're scared to death, and by the middle part of their freshman year, they stop getting scared, and so they get better and better, and they make that jump kind of towards the end of their freshman year, and then they get a lot better their sophomore year. So. Do you remember the team that Crescent had? We beat them 77-0 or 82-0. They had a bunch of freshmen and sophomores on that team, and this Cashion team kind of reminds me of that team. Just inexperienced,
a lot of freshmen,
yep. And I've talked the last 2, 3, 4 years about men versus boys. Minco's got 8 or 10 men on that team. They are adultish-looking guys. And we've just got a bunch of young pups out there that's trying to work through playing high school football.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like we said in our pregame, is they've got a lot of experience, especially in the skill positions. Where a few years ago, after they had probably the best team that I've seen, probably 5 years ago, they had probably the best team I've seen them have, other than this one. They had a kind of a drop off just because. A lot of their skill positions were young. Well, those young skill positions now are seniors, and they've had a lot of experience, and you're seeing it out there tonight, just the experience that they have going against the inexperience of the Cashion Wildcats.
Right. There's not when you play a team like this that's got this many older kids on the team, there's not a lot of bright spots you're seeing tonight. Ethan Wasso's running for his life. Our running backs are not getting a whole lot of room, and our up front guys are getting beat some too. And it's just they're just bigger, more older kids.
But the bright spot that I've seen is, like you said, Grayson, the other receivers that we have out there, Drew, Max, we have some receivers that can get open.
Yeah, you bet.
If Ethan has enough time, and he does, everything right in his fundamentals, he can deliver strikes down the field. And I think that's the bright spot that I saw was once we kind of started throwing the ball down the field a little bit and finding some of those intermediate passing routes, that's where we found our success. And we had open receivers. That's what I like to see because, as Ethan becomes a junior and senior and these freshmen become sophomores and juniors, by the time they're juniors and seniors, they're going to have the timing down, they're going to have the experience, and the offense is going to be explosive.
And I was looking through some old pictures this week and just realized that Charles Waswo, which would be Ethan Waswo's granddad, was on the first football team at Cashion. So there's a lot of history there.
Ethan was, I think Charles was on that first. There's like 3 Maxons on that. I think I saw that same picture.
Yeah.
And then Ethan's dad, Matt, was a heck of a football player back whenever he was on the field too. So we got about a minute. Yep, 2 minutes left before halftime. So we'll jump off here. Thanks, Lessons with Lane. Great halftime show by the band and the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And exciting times for Cashion Wildcats. Big competition, state competition for the cheerleaders on Saturday. If you can, get out there and support the cheerleaders. Tulsa Union is where that's going to be on Saturday. So big things happening for the cheer. Let's go cheer them on. They've got state runner-up, I think 2 of the last 3 years or something like that maybe. It's their time. And that's what their theme is. It's like we're here to finish the job this year.
We're not going to even talk about who was state champs. So.
No, yeah, we don't need to talk about that. Yeah. But Lane, thanks for coming down. Lessons for Lane. We'll take a little bit of break, come back with the second half action.
Presenting Regato Ranch, located within the Cashion School District and offering homebuyers the experience of small-town charm with the modern world of shopping, dining, and healthcare just minutes away. Situated east of Highway 74, Regato Ranch boasts 1-acre home sites with privacy and ample space to retire or raise a family.
To build your next home from the ground up or to inquire about new properties currently for sale, contact Brandon or Shannon Cotter with Iron Creek Homes and C7 Realty.
Come find your forever home at Regato Ranch.
And go Wildcats!
Founded by Jesse and Amy McCracken, Rural Pest Solutions is a Cashion-based, family-owned and operated company. Our focus is on providing the highest level of customer service while effectively treating many common invaders, including spiders, ants, roaches, mice, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, and termites. Flexible scheduling and superior customer service are our top priority. Call us today to schedule your appointment.
So welcome back to Cashion Wildcats TV. You missed some great stuff here. Wildcats, actually not great stuff. Wildcats give up a 65-yard touchdown kickoff for the opening second half kick. So they're up, but Wildcats with the ball here on the 22nd and 10. That one was intended for Caleb Duran out of the backfield. Handoff into Jones. Timmy Jones will work through, finds a small lane, gets 2 or 3 yards. You know, on some of these passes, you know, it's just hard because, you know, half the time it might be a receiver situation. The other half, it may be Ethan kind of growing in his role. That last pass to Caleb Duran, he was open. He just threw off his back foot. Part of that may be because he's seen a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But that time he didn't. He's got to still continue to step into that pass.
Well, that's what I say. You know, you got to have those fundamentals and live and die by those. Turn your shoulders, get squared up, make a good throw.
Dig back out to Westerhoff. Great ball there by Ethan Waswo. Westerhoff still on his feet. Forward progress should have been at the 31, but it's still going to be enough for the first down, so good job. And that pass has been there all day. It's been fantastic, either with Higdon or Westerhoff or even Grayson Davis, and that's been a really good, nice spark there for the Wildcat offense with Ethan Waswo throwing the ball and stepping into that.
Yeah, honestly, I think any of those receivers, even the young receivers out there, when you see Kellen get in the ball game, I think they're quick enough and can move out of those breaks fast enough that those Minco Bulldogs, I don't think they can hang with them. I love those routes like that, but the key is, does Ethan have enough time to you know, deliver a good pass?
Jimmy Jones breaks the initial tackle in the backfield, moves forward, pulls forward. The kid's a fantastic runner, strong runner, positive runner. I don't think he has a negative run, at least today, that's for sure. And that one gives a nice gain of about 8.5 for Timmy Jones on first down.
A great job right there by getting those the Cashion Wildcats to get out there, have those guards get out there and pulling in front of him and giving him a lane to run, and a big yardage on first down. 2nd and
2 from the 38. Clock running. Jones with a handoff again. This time caught in the backfield. Doesn't have a chance as number 8, Jaden Sareth, another senior, one of 16 seniors here for Coach Wardlaw and the Minco Bulldogs, makes a tackle in the backfield. Jones isn't able to break that one, so that's a loss. We're bragging about Timmy on his runs. Jinxed him there. So 3rd and 5, running clock, 7:30 here. We'll most likely have a running clock for the rest of the game. Trips up top here for the Wildcats. Back to pass. Waswo, a little double move. Swing pass out to Grayson Fields. He makes one guy move. Sit down. Not enough for the first down, but absolutely destroys number 33, Carson Littlejohn, the junior there. And you talked about it earlier. If you're talking about the future of Cashion Wildcats, Grayson Davis showing you why.
Yeah, just, I mean, they're quick, speedy, agility is there for those young Cashion Wildcats. You saw it there where he just left him in the dirt. You saw the other Minco Bulldog go over and kind of give him heck about breaking his ankles there. But then you have another experienced senior that comes up and makes a good tackle and doesn't let the Cashion Wildcats pick up a first down.
Yeah, this is a great situation for the Wildcats. This is the 3rd offsides penalty they've been able to draw against Minco. And again, for a senior-laden team, a team that has big goals, this is not what you'd like to see from a team like this, and certainly would be a kind of a negative here if you're thinking about the Bulldogs in any march here this season. So with that, it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 45. Waswo swing pass out to Davis, who had that big pass last time. Cuts inside. Great block there by Austin Compton. A little extracurricular as Davis takes a shot to his helmet while on the ground. But nonetheless, no call there by the line judge. And just for heads up, the line judge both switch at half, so we get a new set over here on this side. So good job by Davis getting 4 yards, 5 yards.
Yeah, and that time, you know, he could have tried to get to the sideline, but Grayson did a good job of just seeing an opportunity to get up the field and get as many yards as he could. I like how he put his foot down, got behind the block of Compton, and picked up 4 yards on first down.
So Wildcats moving here in their first possession of the second half. Waswo bobbles with a snap, back to pass, steps up, has a chance to make a move. He does, falls forward, takes a few guys with him. Little help there from the Minco Bulldog, tackling him forward through another tackler, and that's enough for a first down as big senior. Is that number 3? It is, number 3, Ashton Taylor, getting roughed up by the sophomore, Ethan Waswo.
Yeah, that time Ethan, man, he got outside they had a good rush on him. He did a good job of stepping up in the pocket, keeping his eyes down the field. But once he saw that there was nothing and there was a room to pick up the first down, he did a great job of tucking the ball and just a strong kid running the football, picking up the first down.
Now, that's been a positive for Ethan today, is his poise in the pocket, stepping up, looking for that pass and getting positive yards and not force anything. Swing tunnel inside to Higdon. He's got great blockers out in front. Decides to keep it to the outside, still breaking tackles. Late hit as he's pushed out of bounds by number 9, Sebastian Valdez.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, as an official, you want to keep those kids up off the ground. Once you go 4 yards out of bounds, stay up, boys, to keep everybody.
And the dilemma with this, Chris, is that the Cashion Wildcats are seeing this happen to them, and that's all that's going to happen is retaliation on the backside. So the line judges need to kind of get a hold of this game. A couple of definitely missed situations there, definitely here even on this particular drive. 2nd and short and 2, so good job by Higdon on the tunnel screen. Hand off to Duran. He pokes his pads right there in the middle, drives forward.
Driving.
And there's a quick whistle as Duran comes down. Let's see if it's enough for the first down. They're still going to mark him short.
About a yard short there. But, I like what Shaq did there. Just say, let's get up there and push the ball, boys, to try to get that first down. Minco brings in number 73, which is a big boy up on that line to try to keep that from happening. 73 is Mr. Eli Kirk, senior, 6'4", 350. 350.
350. Big kid. A lot of seniors, a lot of big guys. Duran in the backfield. And speaking of the devil, you talked about it. Duran had nowhere to go. And that's a big loss. And what could have been a first down on that previous play now brings up 4th down and about, looks like they gave forward progress. So that's a good job there by the line judge. So we'll call them out when they do a poor job. That time it was a good spot. We'll take that on the forward progress. So right at the 35-yard line, it'll bring up 4th down and about 2. 3 minutes on a running clock here in the third quarter. Jones has checked in for Duran, right, of Ethan Waswell. We have 2 by 2.
So far off of Compton. Just run a 5-yard turnaround hitch to pick up the first down.
See what happens here. Compton will roll back. He's going to come back to it on the flare and takes his eyes off of it. And you called it, Chris. At that time, it wasn't a curl or a dig, but he came back out. And, if you want to talk about fundamentals, a younger guy like Compton can't carry the baby to try to catch that. He can't get his
hands up.
He's got to get his hands. He's got to get his fingers out there. That's right. The gold triangle. He's got to get that out there to make that catch. And unfortunately, he had his head up forward as well. He'll learn. Yeah. Good pass there by Wasmo. And in fact, it was a good route. It was a good banana route coming back, so he could catch it on the run. So got to give credit to Compton, the sophomore. But that one, because he comes in to cradle the baby, rolls right through his arms, and that'll be a turnover of down. So it was a drive that started on the own Cashion 25, had some good runs and catches. Give credit to Max Higdon and Grayson Davis and my man, we got Drew Westerhoff, and now it'll be the second possession of the night here, or in the second half here for we do have a new quarterback change here for the Minco Bulldogs. So number 15, the backup. That's the sophomore Dason McMurtry. So brother. Yeah, so keep it in the family. Does not have the arm. Nice little ball there on the outside over the head.
He may have the arm. That's a
you didn't let me finish my sentence. Didn't have the arm of his brother. But I was about to say during warm-ups I was able to see and certainly definitely has the capability. So.
Yeah, I saw him out there in warm-up too. I was like, hey, that kid doesn't look bad out there. I mean, he's not the size of his brother. I mean, give him 2 years, he's probably going to have that same look about him, and he's got a good arm on him as a sophomore, and he's a good kid that's going to be he's going to have to step into his brother's footsteps next year and carry the Minco Bulldogs.
So the Bulldogs with a lot of changes here in the backfield was Caden Seeley, missed another one, and give credit to number 20. I wouldn't give him credit on breaking tackles. It was poor form by the Cashion Wildcats. But number 20, Taylor Truelove, a sophomore. So, we're seeing this is basically going to be the game next year right here that we're watching. As a lot of, even though we still have number 12, Reese Nest, a senior, and number 2, Ben Birchfield, another senior, big playmakers for the Minco Bulldogs out there. I believe we still have, and we do have
I want to see if they try to challenge Rocker Johnson over here, and I'd love to see him go up against. I know Birchfield is bigger than Rocker Johnson, but I think Rocker is a gamer and is a quick kid that can go up and make a play against him if they try to challenge him.
All right, with a running clock, that will end the third quarter, 45-0. The Wildcats will huddle up here, and as everyone gets their four fingers up in the air, we'll take a timeout. Be right back. Cashion Wildcats TV.
405-283-6565.
Looking for a solution to your water well problem or just needing a new well drilled? Western Drilling does water well drilling and repair. They are experts in pumping system installation, troubleshooting, and repair. Western Drilling works with domestic, ag, and irrigation wells. Give them a call today and explore all the solutions. Western Drilling supports Cashion High School. Go Wildcats!
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Neiman's not going to be here to carry the load.
All right, welcome back. Speaking of carrying the load, the Wildcats on defense here as we enter the fourth quarter, down 45-0. It's Minco, short field, that was the story with Walters, right? A lot of small drives ending in touchdowns. Give credit to the Minco defense creating those opportunities. Wildcats going for it in territory. And give credit to the Wildcat defense. Nowhere to go. This Minco offense looks anemic compared to what they had before. And again, as we said, now we've got sophomores and freshmen going up against each other. The Minco Bulldogs, negative play there. Give credit to Caden Seeley on the tackle, Tommy Branson, Austin Compton there. So it'll be 4th and long. Punt time for the Wildcats back in punt formation.
Yeah, and that's what – it's exciting. That's why I stay positive, and Neiman is still excited about what we're seeing out here for the Cashion Wildcats. We understand. These kids are young. They are very young. They're getting a lot of really good experience going against a lot of teams that have, last week against Walters, you had a bunch of juniors. They're going to be really good again next year. This year you have a team in Minco with 16 seniors.
Yep.
And so these young kids, when they get a chance to play against someone their age, someone
like Thomas.
Thomas, I mean, you saw it. We had a lot of success. When they have a chance, once they get to the age where they are the upperclassmen, it's going to be a different ballgame, and it's going to be fun to watch. That's why I was saying you better get your shots in on Cashion right now while these kids are young, still learning, figuring it out. But I wouldn't take too big a shot because these young kids are going to remember that, and they're going to have a chip on their shoulder the next time they play you.
Again, all freshmen, sophomore. We got, in essence, out here for the Wildcats, there's 3 seniors, but 2 that certainly get extensive playing time. Play clock at 10 and 11 as Riker Johnson drops his mouthpiece, gets back out in the slot position. Ethan Waswo in shotgun, looking to his left, got to get rid of it, and he's going to get hit off the edge. That's going to be incomplete, so give credit to number 8 off the edge. That is senior Jaden Sayrith that's in for Coach Wardlaw coming off the edge. And Coach, or if you see Waswo showing his size, that was a big hit that he took from the senior, just a sophomore, but is able to absorb some of that. And, it did fall incomplete. But
you see Rocker Johnson go out, and usually in this kind of JV cleanup time, he's been coming in for
Well,
Ethan.
not for Wardlaw. He still has a bunch of seniors out there, but yes.
But so Rocker, when Rocker was in 7th grade and Ethan was an 8th grader, they hooked up on touchdown passes multiple times down the field. Let's see if they don't try to hook that up again.
So great job by the senior Clayton Hughes. Drops back into coverage, reads that, and you can't go the well too much, and that's the situation. Wildcats have run that play as the senior Clayton Hughes acting like he won the Super Bowl, and he gives that ball back over. He gives the Cashion ball to his coach. I'm not sure the scenario and situation there. So again, as you said, hey, if you're Minco, if you've gotten your tail whooped by the Wildcats for over a decade, situation is they got us last year down on their homecoming, and certainly they're getting their licks in here with the 16 seniors. Wildcats, hopefully they can remember this and this feeling and take it from game to game, week to week, continue to build. Errant pass by Waswell. You got to give credit to the senior, Clayton Hughes, dropping back, picking that one off, and a decent return into Cashion territory. So with that, Wildcats will go back on defense. It'll be the freshmen and sophomores, and maybe, I don't think I see any seniors out there now.
I think Tommy's out now, so I don't think.
No, I was talking about the Bulldogs.
Oh, gotcha.
Big hit by Compton. And the Bulldogs can't do anything when it's matched up sophomore, freshman to sophomore to freshman. Nice play there. Another one by Austin Compton. He's been extremely active today.
Yeah, no doubt. You still have Benson Watman up there kind of wreaking a little bit of havoc, but everybody else up there for the Cashion Wildcats is going to be here.
Yeah, Max
next year.
Hosley. We got a sophomore out there. Caleb Duran checking out. Looks like freshman. Is that Slade Williams?
Yep.
Speaking of Williams, Reese Williams, senior softball.
And cheerleader.
A cheerleader. Had a great year this year in softball, catcher for the Wildcats. They did lose to Minco today. Congrats to the Minco Bulldogs, Lady Bulldogs, as they go on to Super Regionals. Little handoff, nowhere to go. It's kind of hard when you're not 310 pounds blocking against the defensive lineman of the Cashion Wildcats. So great job, Austin Compton, just a wrecking ball back there.
Yeah, no doubt, coming off that edge and just really getting back there and making good tackles.
All right, so with that, another tackle for loss, 3rd and 13, the clock running 7:26. Let's see if they'll let number 15, the younger brother of McMurtry, take a chance at throwing the ball.
They let him, drop back and throw the ball a little bit early or at the very end of that third quarter when he first got in, but it's been all run since then. But now it's 3rd and long. Let's see if they don't try to open it up a little bit.
Going backwards is the Minco Bulldogs offense, these last two possessions. Another handoff inside, and that's Travis Lovehalls with the DN scrape down the line with a great tackle. Gets about 2, and the Minco Bulldogs will definitely go for it here at 4th down. 4th quarter action, 6:49. And as Chris offered up, this is where you start to have a little bit of, inspiration, excitement, right? This is the future. This is the future of this district, or unless Minco versus Cashion. Yeah, I don't know if Minco will be in Cashion's district next year. I don't think they will be, but, this should.
Cashion's in a kind of a spot where our district can be west, east, south.
Yeah.
It kind of always, the only constant is Crescent.
That's right. In motion, number 1 for Bulldogs. Back handoff, nowhere to go. And give Travis Lovehalls credit for another tackle. Give number 80 on there as well. That's Gavin Layton. So the Wildcat sophomores better than the Minco sophomores. Definitely better, and the Wildcats will have a chance to move the ball here. Let's see if Coach Wardlaw will keep his seniors in on defense here on this last possession of the 4th quarter.
Brought in the younger bunch.
Okay.
Let's see what happens
Well,
here.
I still see number 33, but again, Carson Littlejohn, the junior safety, still out there. But Wildcats, to see if what can happen here. Riker Johnson will take the reins here at quarterback as the Wildcats will go back out. Definitely a big shout out to the young guys. Looks like Carlos Martinez will join Riker Johnson in the backfield. Carlos has flashed, some big playability here. So 1st and 10, 5:21. Again, sophomore Ethan Waswell sitting down. In for him is Riker Johnson. Carlos Martinez trying to stay patient. That's the situation, probably just hit the jets and go.
Yeah, hit that edge, get out there, turn it up, field and pick up as many yards as you can.
Yep.
That time he was trying to, like you said, stay patient, trying to find a seam, and they were able to get to him before he was able to gain any yards.
All right, so Wildcats will gain no yards on that, 2nd and 10, as the freshman will wait for his freshman counterpart, Riker Johnson, as he's got 15 seconds on here. I don't know if we're trying to run more clock or not, but nonetheless, Wildcats will set up. Most likely pass play. Let's see here if Riker has a chance to throw one. Now he's going to hand off to Carlos Martinez, gets the outside, breaks back inside, and I like that from Carlos.
Yeah, set him up going outside, break back in, pick up some yardage.
Tackle there by the sophomore A.J. Russell, number 1 safety coming up on that one. Good pressure there by number 59. That's sophomore Ashton Stevenson against what looks like a bunch of freshmen here for the Wildcats.
Now set them up where they're leaning towards Carlos. Riker pull it, go out the other side, get some big yardage.
See what happens here. You called it. You called them in the past, so you've seen this group play a little bit, haven't you?
A little bit, but I haven't seen him as much Riker at all. I mean, last year tore his ACL the very first game after he scored about 4 touchdowns in 1 quarter.
All right, so 3rd and long. Riker will go ahead and keep it. He'll pull back outside. Circle's not there, and give credit to number 30? It is. So give credit to sophomore Hayden Mock getting past the line, making a tackle.
Yeah, he was able to just come right up the field. Nobody put a hand on him. He was in the backfield before Riker could even make a move. And it's backed up 4th and very long here for the young Cashion Wildcat team that's in right now.
Yeah, it's freshman Max Hosli, freshman Jacob LeBlue. We got freshman number 78, Sheldon Gentry, at center, number 65. Is that sophomore Connor Poe? Freshman Connor Poe, yeah. So straight freshman team out there for the Wildcats. So we do have a Bryson Beitler sighting. I love seeing that, him at wide receiver. Riker Johnson will keep it. He's going to try to get the outside. Get past the first guy, past the second, cut back in, still on his feet. So flashing that speed as the pursuing sophomore defensive players, Taylor Truelove, among others, trying to catch Riker. But the sideline was able to hem him in. He runs out of space, and it'll be a turnover of downs as Minco will take over. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line, it looks like. So with 2:38 on the clock, this will most likely be it. So Wildcats will drop to 1-4 on the season.
Roll into Watonga next week.
On the road. So we've been at home a lot. We're able to get started off with that win with Thomas. We were on the road at Rejoice, lost to Pawhuska at home, came back, got that win against Thomas at home, lost to Walters at home, and now losing, and will most likely lose to Minco here.
I was going to pull up Squirtle and kind of see what that looked like. If Watonga pulls off the victory over Crescent, that would be a massive upset because Crescent.
Yeah, ranked 7th. I wonder if something happened to Crescent. Maybe.
Are we off next week, or is next week Watonga?
We have our schedule.
And then Watonga the next Friday, or is. Look and see.
Yeah, so yeah, we are. We are off. So we're off, and then we have at Watonga in 2 weeks, October 6th.
October 6th.
Yep.
Okay.
And then back home against Christian Heritage on the 12th.
All right. Well, I was wrong. I thought it was next week. Yeah, we do have that week off, but that gives us a chance to prepare for that Watonga team that we think that we can compete against. Because here's the thing: we beat Watonga, we have a chance to compete against CHA. We beat them. Guess what?
Yep.
You're a playoff team.
Yep.
In our district right now,
yep,
there's a 6-team district. You win two district games and you're in the playoffs.
Yep. So with that, mark off on the victory formation kneel by number 15.
And Crescent has pulled ahead. It's 22-17 in the third with 4 minutes left in the third
Interesting.
quarter. So
I wonder if maybe there was some turnovers, some key plays, maybe a kickoff return.
It is at Watonga, so just going kind of being comfortable, thinking you're going to roll off the bus and be able to win the ball game. Watonga comes to play. You have a few turnovers, some things happen. You're on the road, and you get down. But looks like Crescent's kind of gotten their feet back underneath them, taking the lead, and who knows? Let's see where that one goes.
Yep. So with that, that'll be the end of the fourth quarter, end of the game here. The Wildcats fall to 1-4 on the season. Congratulations to the Minco Bulldogs, led by Coach Brock Wardlaw, showing you why they're in the top 10 in Class A football. 16 seniors led by Reed McMurtry, the senior, Noah Johnson, senior, Jake Caruth, senior, Ben Birchfield, senior, Clayton Hughes, senior, Reese Ness, senior. 4 out of 5 of their offensive linemen seniors, and on the defensive line, again, 3 out of their 4 D-line seniors, and in the back half, 3 of the 4 of their DBs. Again, they're all out there. They're primed and ready for a big run. Certainly, as of right now, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in District A3. Wildcats will lick their wounds, take the week off, and get to a situation have a situation where they are able to take some rest and maybe get that all-important win number 1 in district play here in 2 weeks at Watonga. So, Chris, as it looks like Coach Shack will be coming up, I'm going to bow out. I've got family in town, so nice. I will head on over to the house. But on behalf of me and Jackson Drake and my man Maddox Gibson and Gage Beddick, we appreciate you guys joining us here. Any final words from your perspective, Chris?
Nope, just I want these young kids to understand and know that hey, this town's still behind them. They're still showing up. It's a good crowd. You went down at halftime, still lots of energy and excitement on the sidelines. They're here supporting these kids because they know that they're putting all the effort they can out there on the football field. And it's going to be exciting over the next few years. As you could see, when the sophomores and sophomores are out there matched up, it's going to be fun watching these kids get the experience and get better and get out and get moved on. So Shaq's closing out the team out there. He's going to head up here. We'll get Lane in here. We'll get Shaq on here. Nima, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
We'll go to a quick timeout, and then we'll be back with Coach Shackelford.
Gina Van Druff have the answers to all your real estate and insurance needs. These guys will have you covered in a one-stop shopping experience. They are local agents, local supporters, and active in the Cashion community. They are also proud parents of past and present Cashion students. Kyle and Gina help their clients make the right choice. Don't wait till it's too late. Call 405-607-4300. Go Wildcats and number 88. Let's have a great year.
Walk it up, get you some.
Cashion FBC is a church seeking to grow in Christ and our love for the body of Christ. With ministries from children to youth to adults, we strive to present the gospel in an engaging and meaningful way. Sunday school meets at 9:45 a.m. and worship starts at 11 a.m. Children and youth meet on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Please check our website at cashionfbc.org for more information, and we hope to see you this Sunday, located a half-mile east of Cashion.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
To 7, 20 Crescent 7 now. They were beating All right, we are back. Nima had to bow out. He's got some family in town, and so he is heading out. Coach Shackelford, thank you for coming up.
Yeah,
I know it's been a tough few weeks with some young Wildcats out there, but you know, Neiman and I really try to stay positive because we can see, you know, what is coming with some of these young Wildcats and the growth that we've seen just since game one. And, you know, just that excitement keeps us positive. Sure. And I think you as a coach and the coaching staff as a whole probably are excited about what you have coming up. Even though you get handed a 30, what was the final score?
45-0.
45-0 loss to you from a team where, you know, we've always competed against. Sure. You understand that this isn't the end of the world. You've got another year and another year to build on, and it's going to be good things to come.
Yeah, you know, I said this when I was coming up here after it was 45-0 the other way. You know, it's just one game. It's 1 week. And I told the kids afterwards, this one's over and done with. You know, our focus now has got to be Monday. It's got to be practice. You know, then it's got to be Tuesday. Then it's got to be Wednesday. And that has to be the mindset of our kids. That has to be the mindset of our coaches. And it can't, whether it goes good or whether it goes bad, it can't be the other way around. You can't dwell on what just happened, and you can't sit around and think, you know, well, in 2 years we're going to be really good, or in a year we're going to be really good, or if this happens. I mean, you got to focus on the now, and the right now is we got to have a good practice on Monday, and we got to find a way to get better. And I told the kids at halftime, I don't think we're that far away. I know that might sound crazy because I'm sitting up here and we just got beat 45-0. Minco's a really good team. They got a lot of the right pieces of the puzzle in order to, you know, go compete for a state championship. And when you have that and you've got 14 seniors and, you know, we've got 6 kids that have a driver's license, then, you know, I mean, they're you know, we're gonna have some things that are kind of stacked against us when we play teams like that. But the reality is we still have to go play, and we still have to get better. And I told the kids before the game, you know, my thing and our coaching staff objective is when we watch the film tonight or we watch it tomorrow or we watch it as a group together on Monday, are we doing things better as far as, am I taking the right zone step on zone? Am I running the right route on the pass concept? Is the ball going to the right person? Are we in the right coverage? If we've got a blitz called, are we going through the right gap? If we're doing those things, but the result's not going our way because the guy across from us is able to win that battle more often than not, that's one thing. If we're going through the wrong gap on the blitz, or we're running the wrong route, or we're throwing it to the wrong guy, or we're not taking the right zone step, then we're not progressing like we need to. And I think that's the goal right now for us is we got to clean up a lot of that stuff. I thought against Thomas we did a pretty good job of that. I thought against Walters we took a little bit of a step back, and that's to be expected when you're as young as we are. So we'll watch tonight and we'll see where we are and we'll evaluate that and we'll have a reason to practice on Monday. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, and my thing was before the game, I talked. One of my keys to the game was minimal mistakes, because as a young team, any mistake is just amplified. Yeah. And, even if you're getting beat and you're not making the mistakes, and the reason you're getting beat is because they're just making better plays and they're bigger, they're stronger. If you're not making mistakes, that's a positive. That's something you can say, look, you were in the right spot. That dude is just 18 and you are 14. Yeah. There's nothing you can do about that besides get a chip on your shoulder, and when you're 18, you're making that play. Right. And so what I liked about tonight was there was a lot less mistakes tonight than there was last week against Walters, or from what I could tell.
100%.
Is that something that you guys really, it sounds like that's what you're going to look at and hopefully
that's where we've got to get to where we play a clean game. And by that, I don't mean penalties. Penalties are going to happen. They are what they are. It's going to be a little bit harder for us to overcome some of that. And you saw some of that tonight. When we had positive first downs, positive second downs, and we weren't in 3rd and 12 and 2nd and 15, we were able to get first downs, and we were able to kind of convert. When we got put way behind the chains for whatever reason, whether it was a penalty or a bust or whatever, right now that's hard for us to overcome. But we've got to be able to play a clean game as far as fundamentals and assignment, or we're gonna really struggle. We're going to struggle a lot of times anyway, just because we're just not very big and we're just not very physical, and that's just kind of what it is right now. Yeah. But we're really going to struggle and I told them this before the game, and I told them this again at halftime. If we're not in the right spot and we're at a disadvantage physically, now we got a really big problem. If we're in the right spot and at least we've got an opportunity to be successful, and that's what we're trying to get to, and I think we keep taking some steps to get there. And we get a bye week this week, which is great. It's coming at a great time for us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what next thing I was going to ask is kind of looking forward. Yeah. We have the bye week, and then what is I talked to you yesterday, and I think your outlook on things was very positive. Of hey, I think we can compete with Watonga. I think we can compete with CHA. I think there's an opportunity if you beat those two teams, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, we've got 4 district games left. We play Watonga, then we play CHA, then we play Woodward, and then we play Hinton and Crescent. And I really think it's going to be a little bit like Thomas and a little bit like Walters. I thought physically we were okay with Walters. I just didn't think we played very well. I didn't coach very well. We didn't have a very good plan. There was a whole lot of bad last Friday night, and that started with me, and it trickled all the way down. I'd like to play them again. I don't think they're what the score indicated that much better than us, but they were last Friday night, so whatever. But I think we've got a month or 5 weeks, because we don't play for 2 weeks, where we can. It's going to be kids that are more like us than Minco, Pawhuska, Rejoice. So, and you saw it, like against Thomas. Our kids when they get a sense of that, then it's the juices flow a little bit more, and you get some confidence, and you start to play, and you start to kind of get on a little bit of a roll, and that's what we need. We need to have some success, and we need to taste what that's like, and we need to have an appreciation for. We got to put together a drive and go score. You know, I talked about this at halftime with our kids. And special teams aren't anywhere close to being very good for us right now, and it causes us a whole bunch of problems. You know, our punt game, we've got to find a way to fix that, and the bye week can help us there. We've got to be better at kickoff return. We've got to be better at kickoff. Just because we're not good enough offensively to go 75, 80 yards every time to score, and we're not good enough defensively right now to withstand somebody if we're giving them the ball in the 40 or 45-yard line.
Well, I think it was, you know, Nima always writes down, I think they started on their 26, 20, 21.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like the worst field position they had was their own 42-yard line, it seemed like,
yeah,
that whole first half.
And the difficult thing, and it's going to sound like I'm making an excuse, and I'm not, but at our level, Class A, especially when you're as young as you are, you know, we don't have a completely different set of guys that are on special teams that can practice that while we're going and doing something else. It's all the same guys. We need every second that we can get right now just to do the basic stuff offensively and defensively that we can do. So we've slided that because we've got to put so much emphasis on the other stuff right now. So it'll be nice during this bye week to, you know, carve out a little bit of extra time for some special team stuff and try to get that to be a little bit better. You know, and if we can do that, and, you know, I say this all the time to our offensive guys, or I have over the years, you know, we can always punt. You can always punt and play defense. You know, that's always an option. Well, if you can only flip the field 15 yards, it's not a very good option.
Yeah,
you know,
it's almost like let's just go for it.
Yeah, let's just go for it. You know, and if you're sitting up here in the stands, you're like, why are they going for it all the time? Well, because our punter can't punt it 20 yards. So if he punts it 25 yards in the air, and even if they just down it, we flipped it 15 yards. Is there really a difference between giving it to them at the 50 and giving it to them at the 40? Let's just, I mean,
you might as well
we
try
might as well go for it.
We might as well
go for it. Maybe we can get a first down. Maybe we can get a penalty. Maybe we can do something. I mean, but there's a whole lot more things that can happen positive if we throw the ball or if we run a play than if we just punt it, you know. Yep. So if we had a college punter that could hang it up there for 4 seconds and turn it over and, you know, put it 60 yards down the field, I'd punt it every time. But we don't have that.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, when you did punt it, I think the first punt you had, punt it, kid catches the up back catches it and goes and you wind up being worse off than you would have been if you just would have tried to throw the ball. And a lot of times, and I'm sure you maybe tell Ethan this, is like, hey, give your guy a chance down the field. If they intercept it, it's not the end of the world.
No, I told him a couple different times tonight. You know, on fourth down, there's two things that we can't do. We can't take a sack, and we can't throw the ball away. We've got to put the ball in play. You know, we have to have a chance to catch the football. Maybe we make a great play. Maybe they pick it off. Maybe there's a penalty. I mean, but if we take a sack, we got no chance. If we throw it out of bounds, we got no chance.
Right.
And, you know, he's young, you know, and I'm sure, you know, you watch and you're like, you know, and that they got guys open, they got this, they got that. But, I mean, when you're getting pressured and their defensive line is really good, number 3 is a freak. I mean, just an absolute freak show. I mean, you can watch it. You can watch it tomorrow and you can watch it Sunday. Quarterbacks start getting hit. I don't care what level they are.
It gets to their head.
When they start getting hit, they don't play as well.
Yep.
They rush things. Yep. The ball sails. The ball does this. I mean, it's, it doesn't matter who you are. Tom Brady, if he got hit, he's not as good.
Yeah, and I was thinking, you know, Ben Harmon, whenever he was a sophomore, he had how many seniors on that team?
Every one of them.
To kind of overshadow him being – he was just a facilitator.
Yeah, he had 21 returning starters.
Yeah, and so Ethan Waswell, as a sophomore, he's the man. I mean, there's not. Yeah. I mean, he's one of the older. He's one of the leaders on the team.
And we're pumping it to kids that are, you know, his age or younger. And, you know, I mean,
he doesn't have a Landon Legassi throw it up and say go get it.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. And I'm taking nothing away from. I mean, we've had some exceptional quarterbacks that have come through here and that knew what we wanted to do and where the ball needed to go and all those things really, really well. But a lot of them also benefited from bigger guys up front that had played a lot and that a lot of times didn't have to play both ways.
Right.
And
that year that Ben was a sophomore, his whole offensive line didn't even have to step on the field during on the defensive side of the ball.
No.
That's a massive
That's a huge
advantage.
difference. That's a huge difference. And then skill kids that, you know, were older and really good and athletic and And one of the things that I don't think a lot of people realize too, and I had this conversation with our team the other day, is when you have really good numbers and you have upperclassmen, especially that are skill kids. So like, you know, the kids that we had last year, if they had decided to play this year and they're going up in practice every day against the kids that we're playing right now, by this point in the season, both of them would be a lot better.
Right.
I mean, our younger kids would get pushed every day by those older kids, and we've got some really good young kids. They're playing on Friday nights right now. They would have made those older kids so much better. The older kids would have made them so much better. And that progress throughout the season is what allows you to continue to build year after year after year after year. So, but now, and this is what I told them, we've got to compete the same way. But the difference is this freshman wideout's got to make this freshman corner better, and this freshman corner's got to make this freshman wideout better. But they have to compete every day.
Yep.
And we can't. Well, I'm a JV kid, so you know I'm not.
Who cares?
Who cares?
You're on the football team. Let's go.
Yeah, you're also really close to being a varsity player. It's really even with a whole bunch of kids. And you saw tonight we played a whole bunch of kids.
Yep.
On both sides of the football, and that's a result of that competition every day in practice and those kids getting better and earning a way onto the field. So I think that's going to pay huge dividends for us moving forward.
Yep.
But right now we're just, kind of are what we are.
Yep. Well, Coach, appreciate you coming up.
You
I
bet.
know it's not fun getting beat, but hey, that's part of the growing process and getting going through a kind of a rebuild, and this is kind of the first rebuild we've really had to have in a long time because we've had some.
And I tell you what, it's never fun losing. Don't get me wrong. No, nobody hates losing more than I do, but it's fun coaching this group. It really is. I mean, it's really cool to see some of that growth and coach a group of kids that are enjoying football.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are. They have fun. They have fun at practice. They had fun tonight. They're probably having fun in the locker room right now. I mean, Chris, at the end of the day, it's a game.
It's a game,
I mean,
and you got to have fun.
It's a game, and I know, we all, it means it's a really important game to a whole bunch of people, me included, and I get that. But at the end of the day, it's a game, and we got to find a way for these kids to have fun, and in the meantime, improve and get better. And, if it's a game and you're going to compete, and if you're going to compete and they're going to keep score, we need to try to win. But we also need to understand, that as we're going through this process, we need to find a way to have fun too.
Right.
And then when we turn the corner, whether it's this
how
year,
fun
next
is it
year,
going to be when you've gone through the fire with these young kids, and when you start seeing the tables turn, how fun is that?
It's going to be really cool if they'll stick it out, which I think they will. I have no doubt that they will. And then we keep adding. We add this 8th grade group that's coming up, and we add the 7th grade group. And I don't know when it's going to happen. Maybe it happens this year. Maybe it happens next year. At the beginning of the year, at the middle of the year, end of the year. Maybe it's 2 years from now. But there's going to come a point in time where this thing starts to turn back the other direction. And when it does with this group of kids, it's going to be really cool. And what I hope is that everybody stays along for the ride with them.
Yeah.
And they go up to them after it happens, after those games, and they say, "Hey, man, I respect you so much because of what you've gone through to get yourself to this point." And if our kids can do that, the success they're going to have on the football field is going to pale to how prepared they'll be for life to deal with some things and be able to overcome that. And
I like
that's kind of what you want.
Yes, sir. All right. Appreciate you, Coach.
Yeah, you bet.
Jumping on. Thank you guys for jumping on and watching the Cashion Wildcats tonight. They go down to Minco 45-0. A lot of young Wildcats out there going against a bunch of upperclassmen from Minco, and the score kind of reflects that. But good night overall, fun night in Cashion, America. Always a good night when you get to play some football in September.
And it's always going to be a great day to be a Wildcat.
Yes, sir. That is the truth. So thank you for jumping on and watching with us. In the words of Neiman Dabavi, go Cats and God bless.
Yep.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at Squirtle.com/stream.
For Presenting Regato Ranch, located within the Cashion School District and offering homebuyers the experience of small town charm with the modern world of shopping, dining, and healthcare just minutes away. Situated east of Highway 74, Regato Ranch boasts 1-acre home sites with privacy and ample space to retire or raise a family.
To build your next home from the ground up or to inquire about new properties currently for sale, contact Brandon or Shannon Cotter with Iron Creek Homes and C7 Realty.
Come find your forever home at Regato Ranch.
And go